We're live. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Hi, Carl.
Hey, Tiffany. You scared me there for a second. I was like, what the hell? I didn't see you. I didn't see Kevin.
I was busy tearing up paper off of boxes, okay? My niece forced me into this Christmas thing. I am not into Christmas. I am Miss Grinch herself. And then I give out gifts at the end.
Well, you guys start so early. You guys started.
Well, it's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's
Oh,
Christmas.
so
So
you guys usually do Christmas Eve opening instead of
I
tradition?
don't do this periodly. Ask my niece. My niece will tell you I don't put up trees. I don't do nothing. She wanted to do this. I think her man is going to work tomorrow. So
Uh,
she wanted to do it tonight. So it was beautiful. God is good. I love the blessings that they gave. Thank you for my niece Unique. Happy holidays, everybody. We want to say hello. This is fair use, educational purposes only. We do not own the rights to this content. It's just our opinion only. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment.
and we don't say Merry Christmas anymore. We say Happy Holidays in case we offend someone. I guess that's
I
why
say
we
happy holiday because I'm not doing no Merry Christmas and the
Hanukkah.
white man coming through the chimney and because no white man coming through my house. You know that. I
You
don't got
know,
no feelings.
some people tell me I was cruel for this, but from the time my kids were little, I told them Santa Claus wasn't real. I told me your mom and I, when you see us leave 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, we come back home at 8 o'clock, we are busting our ass to buy you this stuff. So there's no man, and I was very upfront with them, both my
How
sons.
old were they, Carl?
They were like 3, 4.
Yeah,
You know,
that was wrong, Carl. That's wrong, Carl.
that was wrong.
That was wrong, Carl. I waited till my nephews was at least about 8 or 9 when they knew right from wrong.
No. What up,
Hey,
Kev?
Kev. Happy
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?
holidays.
What's up,
Happy
Kev?
holidays to y'all. Hey,
Hey,
what's up?
happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Happy holidays. All right.
How are
Yeah,
you, brother?
Carl over
I'm
here
good, man. How
saying
y'all
he
doing?
told his children fast about Christmas.
Yeah, I was telling Tiffany. I told my kids little, like from the time they could talk, they knew that there was no Santa Claus. I told them there was no Santa. I also told my sons when they were little, like 3, 4 years old. I told them like when we would be out at shopping and stuff, and the white people go, "Oh, yeah, he's so cute. What's his name?" And they would try to pick him up and hug him and stuff. And oh, he's so cute, pinch his cheeks. And I would say to them, "Listen, they think you're cute now. Or when you get old, when you start to get old and look like a man, you're gonna see a totally different white person." I told him that.
Is,
One
is,
day,
did they see the reality by now?
oh yeah, I was just about to say when my son started going to high school, especially middle school actually. He told me, "Dad, now I see what you're talking about." He was walking home from school and he noticed how he was being avoided, how people didn't want to make eye contact, and he saw it. So you know, I I was very, and it's not just about that. I was very upfront with my kids about sex and everything. Everything. I
Well,
gave it
that's
to
good.
them.
And you were in-house dad. You was in the house with them. So that they needed that. And they should honor that. Because you have a lot of young men that don't have their father in the house. Or their father never, was there, or their father passed away. You were actually there. So your son should be very honored to have their dad in their life.
Yeah, and I used to talk to my sons. I one thing I never spank my kids. I in my
Really?
house when
How you manage that?
I,
You said you
I
ain't never
ne-
spanked them.
no, my kids can tell you I never hit them. I talk to
Oh.
them and I talk to
They
Really?
them and
must was good kids.
I talk to them
Wow.
because and the reason for that was I grew up in a house where you got your ass tore up, and I
Me
always felt
too.
like it was unnecessary. It's got to be a different way. There's got to be a better way. And I always said to myself, I'm going to break this cycle. I'm going to break this
Oh.
cycle. This is crazy. So whenever my kids did anything, as much one time I didn't hit him, but I chased my son around the house. I was so mad. He didn't do his homework 3 times in a row. And the third time I just had enough, the
And you
teacher.
chased them around the
Oh yeah,
house.
I chased him around the house. But I never hit my kids and never beat them. I would sit them down. We would talk. I used to say to my son, "Hey, let's go for a walk." Like if you didn't do something your mom said, or if you talk back to your mom, I would go, "Hey, let's go for a walk." Why are you talking back to your mom? He'd be like, "Well, Dad, blah blah." And then I would have my say, and then he would have his say, and I mean, we kind of talked it out, and that's the way I did it.
That's nice. You didn't want your children to call 911 on your ass, and you would have slapped their ass.
So yeah, I just wanted to break that cycle. So I think the whole beating thing in the black family comes from slavery. Like, that whole, some people have said that's where it comes from.
It's a difference between discipline and abuse. Because if you don't discipline your children, or the streets will. If you don't discipline your children, the cops will. You understand? So it's a difference. We're not saying beat the hell out your children. You understand what I'm saying? But if you have to discipline them and shake them like, listen, what is wrong with you? Don't do that. But not kill them to hurt them. We don't want to hurt them. But it's a difference. We don't want to abuse the children. It's a different time today. You can really try to communicate with your children. But I'm going to say it again. You don't want your children to whoop your ass, because that's when you're going to want to whoop their ass. And call the police and tell the police to come and get them.
Because I always thought it was like things I got beat for that I didn't think was necessary. Like you're going in the refrigerator and the water bottle falls on the floor, and if it's glass, it breaks, or it spills, and and you get your ass beat for that.
You shouldn't get your ass beat for that.
Did you clean it up?
Did I clean it up? No, because
that's why your ass got beat.
No, because
you're supposed to clean that up. Somebody can slip, fall, cut themselves.
Or like you got to be home by a certain time. If you're not home by a certain time, and you come in after that time. I mean, I just think talking works. For me, I think talking works, but.
That's so nice, Carl.
It doesn't work.
My mother tore our asses up in the name of Jesus.
I don't know. It made me angry. Getting beat made me angry. It just made me angry. And I can remember the day when I stopped crying. When I remember my mom hitting me, and I just stood there and stared at her. Because normally I start crying. But when I was about 14, 15, she hit me, and I just looked at her. Like, what are you doing?
Well, you 14, 15. That's too old. She should have got a bat.
So, yeah, I just don't think that beating kids works. I think talking.
Some beating is ridiculous. Listen, I don't condone violence or anything like that. But yes, abuse is horrible. I have saw, people, abusing their children, and abuse come in all different forms. It's not only physical abuse, it's verbal abuse. Because I done heard people talk to their children so horribly. My mother never cursed at us. I never heard my mother curse until we started smelling ourselves. You understand? So, abuse is horrible. But again, we must discipline our children. You understand? Because if you don't want the streets to.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is not actually a show topic, folks. We were just chatting it up. Actually, we're really going to get into there's 3 topics I think we have on deck today. First one will be Jonathan Majors. Did he get his Negro wake-up call?
Yeah.
Did he knock at the door? Did he get that Negro wake-up call? Would it have been a different situation if his girlfriend was black? Would she have not taken the court? Would it have been solved? So did he get his Negro wake-up call? Also, we're going to talk about Taraji P. Henson talking about being underpaid in Hollywood. It's a well-known thing. It's not just in Hollywood, it's throughout the entire world.
Thank you.
I have a solution for that, which I will reveal during the show, but it got very emotional, and I have some videos with her talking about being underpaid. Even on The Color Purple, Oprah wanted to underpay her, and she was going to leave The Color Purple, the movie The Color Purple.
That's what makes it so interesting, is that people like, her and Monique, for example, was complaining about the same thing. Black people that it's the black people that have the power to pay them money that's not paying them. The Tyler Perrys of the world is not paying them. The Oprahs of the world is not paying them. So it's not even the white person that's not paying them. They're not getting paid by people that look like them. Because Oprah has enough power to pay that young lady what she deserves, and without nobody's pocket being hurt. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, Bob Johnson, the former owner of BT, and I was on the TV show Comic View on BT, and we were paid peanuts for being on that TV show. You know, Bob Johnson, I believe, is like the first black billionaire, now one of the first black billionaires anyway, in America, and he owned BET, and he paid all the comedians peanuts for doing that TV show Comic View that we did, and I taped 5 seasons of that show and was paid peanuts. You know, so peanuts,
Yeah.
you hear me? And all the other comics were paid peanuts. So and they run reruns on that show. That show generated millions for him, obviously, you know, but he didn't pay the talent that was doing the work the money. So what she's saying is true, and I can relate because I'm a victim as an entertainer myself. You know, I'm not nowhere on her level as an entertainer, but I mean, successful. I'm not on her level, but I know exactly what she's saying because we're grossly underpaid in our profession, especially entertainment field. Well, everybody, but it's definitely entertainment field. But it's black people that's underpaying you, and that's what hurts even more. You know, because it's the Oprah and Tyler Perry, and you know, like Monique was bitching
The
about Tyler Perry. You know,
gatekeepers.
the gatekeeper, yeah, the black gatekeepers are dogging out black entertainers, and that's what's sad. That's worse than uh, 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 you know, some famous white director or movie producer, you know, not paying you, you know. But you never hear Will Smith complain about not making money. Will Smith was getting paid millions of dollars by white movie producers, you know, when he did movies. He had getting $20 million a movie, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna speak to the Will Smith thing because but I'll say it now. Like you notice, you have to be. There's a certain kind of way you have to be in Hollywood. To me, if you're too outspoken about being black, you don't make a lot of money. Are you kind of, you know what I mean? And Taraji P. Henson is unapologetically black. You know, she said she talked about it in one of the interviews. She was too rough around the edges, they would say. She was too ghetto, that kind of thing, you know, and how outspoken she is. But if you want to make it, you can't be as outspoken. Like Will Smith, he's kind of, you know what I mean?
You got to get along with the get along.
Right, exactly. There you go. You know,
But
and you
a
know,
call, it's we're saying Will Smith gets along to get along, right? But the
yeah.
get along is paying him. Miss Henson is not getting paid by her own people. You know, it's not. I'm trying to think of a famous director right now. It's not like the guy that produced Star Wars. You know, what's his name? I mean,
Steven Spielberg or
yeah, I'm saying it's not. Yes, Spielberg's the name that invaded my memory. So it's not like Spielberg's not paying her what she's worth. She's not getting paid what she's worth by Oprah.
Okay,
You
so
understand?
now I'm kind of confused on this because if that was the case, right? Because that was the big controversy because she said it on a platform where Gail was doing it, her best friend. I don't
For a
think
reason.
that is she that to that level where she gonna diss somebody that's paying is in the movie, is the director, the producer of the movie at that moment. Do you think that
It was
she
sincere.
really? I don't think
It
it
was
was
sincere
only Oprah.
pain. It
Huh?
was sincere. She was coming from sincere pain. She was coming from. Uh, that was very emotional. She didn't mean to. I don't think it was arranged, Tiffany. I don't think she sit there and say, "I'm going to call out Oprah on this interview." I think she just broke into it. I think she broke down. I think she was hurting inside,
you know,
and she was hurting inside. And I think when doing they talk, they were there to promote the new movie.
Right.
And in the process of her promoting the movie, I think she just got overwhelmed thinking about her situation. You
Right.
know,
And I don't think it's
uh,
only Oprah. It's also, as Carl was saying, it's Hollywood. You know, dealing with Hollywood with getting asked, but also like you said, because of you have your own black people that have outlets, and Oprah and Tyler have outlets to, movies.
And they're not using it. And what's the other? What's the guy that Monique was beefing with? What's his name? Another black producer. The one that does all the movies that Monique
You
had to
talking
beef with.
about Lee Daniels?
Lee Daniels. So she's beefing with Lee Daniels about being underpaid.
Okay, so
So
it wasn't
I'm
only
just
Lee
saying
Daniels.
we have black artists that are coming out complaining about black artists, and I just personally gave you guys my situation about me not being paid properly by a black billionaire. Right? So we're being real here, right? I'm just
No, no,
saying.
no, no. I,
Uh,
I I get it, but I don't think
Spielberg.
she. I,
I mean, people. Will Smith gets 20 million a movie. Martin Lawrence gets 20 million a movie. Denzel making 20 million a movie. You know, one of the richest actors in Hollywood is Samuel Jackson. You know, they're
mm-hmm,
making money from white directors and producers. Hollywood. We can't
mm-hmm,
say Hollywood's not treating black people right when Samuel Jackson's worth $800 million from doing movies.
right. No,
You
I
know,
think it's deeper than that because again, remember 5 years ago, Monique was talking about this. She talked
yeah,
about she was getting all the scripts. She was getting scripts from white, black, but they was not giving her the right pay. They was not offering her what she was worth. They didn't even care if she had an Oscar. They still wasn't giving her what she was worth. I think it's all around the map. They are not getting paid periodly because you're black and you're a woman, and you know that men get a little bit
but
more
that's true.
money. And also, and she broke it down with the money. She has to pay her
Mhm.
team. She has to do this. I get it, and to be honest with you, I felt for her for that moment, but then I was like Carl said, everywhere people are going through that. We're struggling. She's just on a different bracket. You understand? Maybe I'm not, but I know, she's on a different bracket. She's rich. And she's struggling because she needs, she can't get her roles. Remember, Monique is a comedian. She can go out and make her money. You understand? She don't have to only rock with being an actress. You understand? So, do our celebrities create businesses? Remember, Carl, you talked about that again. They're not creating any businesses.
What you
Right.
don't understand what rich is, but that's what she was saying though, is you get $10 million, but then when it's all said and done, out of that $10 million, you might even walk away with about $350,000 of that after
Right. After
everybody's
paying
taking
everybody.
there. So $350,000 is not a lot of money. I mean, it might be a lot of money to you, Tiff, but it's not a
Yeah.
lot of money in Hollywood. There's not a lot of money in Hollywood. That's
But the thing
peanuts
is,
in
you
Hollywood.
gotta
That's
remember
peanuts in
something is
Hollywood.
you might
Peanuts.
get $350,000, but your next movie might be 2 years away. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So that three
Yeah,
hundred.
exactly. Exactly. So she got to live on that and stuff like that. And like you said, Tiff, she can't go out and make 10,000 a weekend working the comedy club circuit. Monique goes out and do comedy clubs, and
Right.
Monique gets 20 grand for the weekend working some of these clubs. I know that personally.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's why
she good.
that
She good.
Netflix thing didn't go through for her because they was only offering her $500,000. And everybody
Right.
was telling her, you should take that. Shut the hell up. Dissing her. She was like, no, not when they was giving everybody else over a couple of $1 million. And then when she
Right.
won her lawsuit against Netflix, not one person said congratulations or you was right, Monique. Now everybody want to
Right.
bring her up now that Taraji is crying. She's been talking
Right.
about this.
No, Monique was right in a sense.
Yeah.
Her Netflix special still sucked, but she was right.
No, it was different. It was different. It was different.
It was different, all right.
I learned
No,
a
Uh,
I
lot
got you.
about her life. I learned a lot
Yeah,
about her life that we didn't know.
yeah.
that's
All
true.
right. What up, information man? He said he's gonna jump on. He said he's out right now. As soon as he gets back home, he's gonna jump in. Shout out to Nicole Coates.
Tell
Go ahead,
information, man. We got to be
sister.
off. Tell information, man. We got to be off before Christmas.
All right. So, I mean, we already started talking about Taraji, so let's go right into Taraji.
I'm sorry. My
Right.
bad.
And I heard on the street, Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you know, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, there's a whole entire team behind us.
Yes.
They have to get paid. So when you hear someone saying, oh, such and such made $10 million, no, that's not, that didn't make it to their account. Know that off the top, Uncle Sam is getting 50%.
That's right.
Okay? So do the math. Now we have 5 million. Your team is getting 30% or whatever your team is off of what you grossed.
Sometimes
Not
more.
after what Uncle Sam took. Now do the math. So
You're tired.
I'm only human, and it seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again, like I never did what I just did, and I'm just tired. I'm tired.
When I came to Hollywood was one at a time. You had to look a certain way. You had to speak a certain way. I was considered too edgy, too black. That's what they're saying. But to sit here and be in the show, in the movie, and I get to support these beautiful women who this is your first major film. I want you to understand how special this is. You hear what I'm saying? You've been doing this on the stage, off the stage, TV, but this is her first major feature film. So I'm saying this to say, when you see a black woman up here, baby, we jumped hurdles to get here. We fought all the obstacles.
Yes.
Getting paid less than. And we do it with grace. We do it with grace because if we speak up too much, we're considered angry. I'm trying to give you lessons here. I didn't want to get emotional like this, God damn it.
Oh my God.
But I want these two beautiful women to be proud. And I want you to hold on to this moment. Because oftentimes when black people get to tell our stories, we are tampered with. They don't let us tell the stories. They come in and they interject and it's like, but that's not our culture. So I'm telling you this. This is rare, baby. I'm hoping that this work that we're doing is going to change things. But I'm just so happy to be alive to.
Well, yeah, black women find themselves at this interesting cross-section of sexism and racism.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I look at Serena Williams because she's been very vocal about the pay gap when it comes to black women. And she really encourages black women to get together and discuss these things so that you're making it easier for the next generation of black women to come in and they don't have to deal with the same thing. They really stick together a lot of times. When you find yourself in a corporate setting, there's this kind of crabs in the bucket mentality where people are like, oh, I'm not going to tell you how much I'm making because I'm going to go to the boss and I'm going to sit here and I want to make more than you. But in fact, you have more bargaining power when everybody has the same level of knowledge and education. And we have these discrepancies, obviously, not only in pay, but in these employment standards, discriminatory practices that have been infecting us for a long time, and of course, prejudices that exist in the workplace that are impacting how much black women are being paid.
And I would like to encourage our allies in black and white women to also pull us up because they understand, being women, that it is a gap even for them.
Look at the film industry. I think that, I mean, Jessica Chastain, I love her. She's an amazing actress. And she did the same thing for Octavia Spencer and said, hold up now. You're not about to be paying her all this little bit, you know, and she's the lead actress, right? She's the star of the show. And she's like, listen, she brought her star power to the table and demanded better pay for her black female counterpart. And I respect it.
Wow.
We are still black in this country. We don't trust this country in terms of meritocracy always. We know the bottom line is that just like women are underpaid compared to male counterparts, Blacks are underpaid compared to white counterparts. And so when you look at it from that perspective, and of course, people look at me, I'm not talking about me, even though I got news for you. I am underpaid compared to some people on television and what they get paid, but that's a subject for another day. I ain't apologizing for that to a damn soul. I am underpaid. Having said all of that, it ain't about me.
That's my boy Stephen A.
His salary is $12 million a year, and he's underpaid.
Well, because what he's saying is white people that's probably making $30 million that he's better at in the same job, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that I mean, and that's true. Stephen A. is the man at what he does. You know, I love Stephen A. He gets a lot of criticism from other black people. You know, but I like the brother, and you know, so yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, you know, some people look at him and say, "Hey, you should be happy with 12 million," but should he really be happy with 12 million, even though someone not as talented and probably beneath him in broadcasting is making 40 million a year? Should he be happy with?
I think he's happy. I think he's happy with the 12 million. He's just making he's making the point that basically what he's saying is that he's more talented than Bob or Tom, who's working at another network making 30,000 a year for the same job. That's all he's saying. I don't think he's gawking at the 12 million. He's able to
No,
have a
saying
wonderful
that,
lifestyle and take care of his family with that 12 million. You
right?
know what I'm saying?
But it's still unfair, though. It's still unfair to pay him
Yeah.
what they pay him.
The white executives is saying, y'all lucky we gave y'all ninjas some jobs. Y'all lucky we gave you money. You lucky we put you in a position that you can make these dollars and we can snatch it from you at any time, any place when we want to.
Yeah, well, they can do that. Yeah.
Let's keep it real. They can snatch it away. I'm not, like I said, I feel bad for them. You know, that they feel like they're not getting money on their money bracket. But I'm sorry, I can't really feel sorry. I want to give a shout out to whoever left a love gift on my sister's stoop. They left food for her dogs, they left water, and they left stuff for her. And I want to say thank you. You know, because people sit and see who is really suffering and going on. When you sit and hear people complain about $12 million, that's small. That's they need. I can't. I'm sorry.
You don't have any sympathy for somebody making 12 million.
I don't, and it's so bad because I'm trying not to get emotional about it. You know, because I cannot. First of all, a lot of them overspend. Okay, let's think about it. They overspend. They give Louis Vuitton and Gucci. I just saw Little Dirk in a $40,000 Louis Vuitton outfit. $40,000. That could have been to a community center. That could have been to a basketball court, something to give back to the community. But you will give your money to Louis Vuitton, Gucci. I saw a hairstylist. She put a Fendi. She got a Fendi chair in her salon for almost $5,000, and you couldn't even put your name on that chair because it was you that bust your ass to do it. You understand? Like, I think that we have our priorities messed up in how we handle and we deal with our money.
But that's just a few examples, Tiff. That's not every black person with money. That's just a few rappers. That's a few rappers, a few singers. I mean, even Fantasia, you know, when she first made her couple of $1 million, she screwed it up. And she had to file for bankruptcy. And I believe, I'm not mistaken, Tyler Perry bailed her out and said, hey.
Perry or Simon Cowell.
It's Simon Cowell. I'm sorry. Yeah, Simon Cowell bailed her out. That's what I said. I wasn't 100% sure. Thank you. So yeah, it was Simon Cowell bailed her out.
She's talented.
He took care of her, and he put her back on her feet. Though is what I'm saying. She blew her money. Now she's doing good for money because now she knows she can't come to Simon Cowell again. You know. So
no, she can't
he
mess
looked out
up.
for
She
her.
messed up on She messed up on the Color Purple Broadway show. She wasn't showing up. She said it was a lot for her. So like Taraji said, and think about it. Taraji just said it. This is your first motion picture. You know how many pictures she done did? And she probably, and Fantasia probably getting more money than she's getting. We don't know. You understand what I'm saying? So listen, the whole game is rigged to me. to be honest. Like you said, Oprah, all of them can pay them what they are worth because they deserve to be paid what they are worth, especially for their talent. But I don't know. We have to create our own. You know, Hollywood and
But
acting doesn't last forever.
but but how can we? Okay, we did create our own, right? Oprah has a studio. Tyler Perry's a studio. Like Kevin said, we create our own. Well, people that look like us that we would assume they are part of. You know, we are part of this group, this culture, and they're still not paying what they're, you know what I mean, they're still underpaying the black actors. So I mean, it looks like, where do you go? You go over here with this person who doesn't look like you and they pay you, they underpay you. You come back, excuse me, to the people who look like you. You think, okay, I should be okay, and they're still not paying you.
I won't
You know,
mention no names because I'm not allowed to mention names, but I have some famous black comedians that call me up, and I'll tell you guys off the air. Call you. You probably know these guys. Uh, Very popular black comedians who will call me up, honest to God, and say, Kevin, how can I get into mainstream comedy clubs? Because they're working the black circuit, they're working the urban circuit, and they're getting paid peanuts.
They call it
And they want to
chilling.
come up. And yeah, I guess it's another word. Yeah, chilling. But yeah, they're working the urban comedy circuit, and they hit me up. A couple of guys that's very popular that hit me up and asked me how can they get into, doing the mainstream circuit, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You popular on a different circuit, and it's kind of like too late to switch, jump trains at this point, because but yeah, I was surprised I got those phone calls. But there was a couple of calls came in from some popular black comics asking me how can they get to the mainstream, because all they do is urban shows, but they want to do the comedy club circuit that I do, the mainstream, we call it the mainstream circuit, which is, I guess, just lingo for the
You
industry.
know you
But yeah,
light skin and fit the spot.
it's not this. I
your
can tell
ass ain't you ain't exactly Cicely Tyson.
I mean, to talk about that a little, it's not the skin color that gets you in what they call mainstream. Basically, is what they're saying, playing the white clubs.
Oh
It's,
yeah.
it's how you. Like they used to tell me, I can do both. I can do both black and white clubs. I have,
Yeah,
but then there are other comics that cannot do white
both.
clubs.
Yeah,
Yeah, that they
I just
can't.
did. I just did all black club Saturday night. When a white person in the audience Saturday night. The show I did Saturday night was in the black comedy club, all black show.
And it was
So
good,
yeah,
right?
the show was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
the show was great. It
You
was an
know how
all
to
black
work both.
audience. Yeah, I can work both. I can work both.
Not
And
everybody
it's
can do
important.
that.
It's important to work both. I just finished watching.
Yes.
We just finished watching the Whitney Houston movie on Netflix a couple hours ago, and great movie, by the way. The sister who played Whitney Houston is amazing. She's an actress out of London, and this movie's on Netflix. I think it says "I Am Whitney Houston's" the name of the movie. Amazing movie, freaking amazing. The best Whitney Houston movie I've seen.
She
There's
probably
been
got
several.
paid less. Go ahead.
She probably did, and she's brilliant. She's an amazingly talented lady. But my point is, I found out in the movie, Whitney is based on her life, true story. Whitney dealt with that too, where black people were saying to her, "You're not black enough," and she was going to Clyde Davis saying, "I need some R&B. I need some R&B." So Clyde Davis was like, "All right, we'll get Babyface, this new producer by the name of Babyface, to come work with you. See if we can get you some R&B hits." Matter of fact, that song, "Where Do Broken Hearts Go?" I think that was a
Um,
Babyface hit, written song, because they were trying to get her to be more R&B,
right.
because black people were giving Whitney Houston the blues for being a pop artist. She was
Oh
like,
yeah, because she was
she
able
came
to
out, she
cross
came out the
over.
gate, she came out the gate pop. She didn't cross over. She started out as a pop artist.
Oh,
You
so
know,
okay, so she started out
so
as a
she just,
pop
yeah,
artist.
she came. Like a lot of black singers have come out, like Michael Jackson is R&B, then he went pop. Whitney
Hmm.
came out the gate pop. All black artists want to go pop because that's where the money's at.
Hmm.
Once you become a pop star like a Prince or a Michael Jackson, that crossover appeal where you're selling those stadiums to black and white people like a Beyonce right now, you're making the big bank. You know,
Hmm.
People like Patti LaBelle can sing her ass off, but Patti LaBelle's only going to be working theaters. You know, for 4,500 people, 5,500 people at theaters.
Right.
Gladys Knight the same thing.
Right.
Theaters. Even Fantasia. sing her ass off. She's only working theaters. She can't sell out a
Right.
stadium. She can sing Beyonce under the stage, but she ain't gonna
That's
sell out
the
no
difference.
stadium.
Okay, you learn something every day. The theater and the stadium. It's a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Beyonce is working stadiums because she's a pop
Yes.
star. She's a pop
Mhm.
star. Fantasia's performing in theaters because she's not. She's an R&B artist. R&B doesn't have the same appeal. You know,
Mhm.
I remember being in D.C. back in the day. We had a club called the 930 Club in Georgetown, and James Brown was at the 930 Club. James Brown, living legend, at the 930 Club that holds approximately 1,500 seats. Meanwhile, on the same night, the Rolling Stones was performing at the stadium 8 miles down the street where the Redskins play at the then Redskin, the football team, and a 90,000 seat arena. The Rolling Stones, who haven't had a hit since the 70s, was sold out a 90,000 seat arena on the same night that James Brown was in a 1,500 seat nightclub.
Mm.
You know, and that's because white people will go see the Rolling Stones without a hit. I mean, without a
Mm.
radio hit. Black people only want to see people with radio hits. You know, that's a whole other subject, but I'm just schooling you
Right.
guys on some stuff. So, but going back to the Whitney Houston movie, she had to deal with the same thing that we're talking about. With, you know, which I didn't know she dealt with that until I saw the movie tonight. That she was getting a lot of heat from black people. Like black people were riding her hard and shit. Like, oh, you pop, you ain't R&B, you ain't black enough for us. And it was really tearing her up inside too, because you know Whitney's from the hood. Don't get it
Mm.
twisted. They
And
put
it's
that
so
goody two
deep.
shoes thing on her, but she was a thug from the
What does
hood.
that? What does that mean? Black enough?
From
Like
the hood?
what do you mean? Yeah. What does that
But
mean?
what, black enough or hood?
Black enough? Like black enough?
The
Well, I
music,
think,
it wasn't R
yeah,
and
I think
B.
they don't think it was straight R&B. You know, like,
Right. It was more pop.
yeah. But see, it's weird because Lenny Kravitz just came out I think, what, a few weeks ago and said the same thing, that he gets no love from black radio, no love from, no support from black people, from black radio don't support him. He said that, and he's upset about it because he looks at himself as a brother. I know he got mixed parents. You know, his mom was the lady on Good Times. I mean, not Good Times,
I
on the
think that's why he
Jefferson.
get a pass. Is because of his mother. We love Helen.
Yeah, but he's still a brother no matter what. His ID, his
And
driver's
he
license
looks
says
good
black.
for 60 years old. Oh my God. His body is amazing.
But it's like, but
Well,
I understand. But what I've learned is like, I remember watching the Oprah Winfrey show one time, and they were talking about the kind of the same topic, and there was a brother on there, and his friends were laughing at him because he likes country music, and they would say he would sing Kenny Rogers songs, and he had liked all this country music, and they would tell him he's not. They were making fun of him
right.
because you know what I mean.
He wasn't black enough.
Yeah, but so what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? That's what I'm getting at. What does it mean to be black? What do you got to do to be black? If you're black, you're black. If you look black, I don't care what Tiffany sings, she's black, right? So I know what it means, but I think it's I don't think it's fair, and I think it's I don't know. You're kind of dissing your own people because
Well,
you know.
I think we do that. Now, we do that a lot, you know, to ourselves. We diss our own people. Whitney Houston got dissed for being the biggest pop star in the world, you know.
Would you
But
already know we can't make
but
everybody
that's what she was.
happy.
But yeah, but everybody accepted Prince.
But
Prince
nobody,
didn't deal with that. No,
the white
Prince didn't deal with that hatred,
Yeah,
and
during that era. During
he was a
that
straight up
era.
rocker. If you had Prince was a rock star before he's anything, right? His music was straight up black rock, you know. But black people accepted him, but they won't accept Lenny Kravitz, you know.
You know, you like
It's so fun because I like Lenny Kravitz. I never had anything.
yeah, but
And
in
how many
general,
times you turn on an R&B station and hear a Lenny Kravitz song?
Yeah, he don't have R&B, you know, remixes. You know,
Right.
I don't know.
Well, he just said he's not accepted. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Did
Go ahead,
white
Carl, I'm
people
sorry.
diss Eminem for rapping? Like when white people start
I
rapping,
don't like Eminem. I don't like it.
But I'm saying, here's what I'm saying though: white people don't diss their white people for going R&B or going rap. They embrace it, right? White people.
Yeah, no, that's not true. I mean, that's probably not true because you probably couldn't find a white person at a Tina Marie show. You know,
Oh, Tina Marie, you know that girl is black on the inside.
You couldn't. Yeah, only black she had in her was Rick James. You
Yeah.
can't find. You can't find a black person at a Tina Marie show. I've been to a Tina Marie concert. Ain't no black
But
people around. You know what I'm
what
saying?
I'm
But
I'm saying, like, we don't run away, but white people don't run away from white artists when they start doing R&B or rap. But we seem to run away from black people when they do art, when they do music we consider not black. You know, we don't want
because
that.
we don't listen to it. Like white people listen
Yeah,
to
I
R and
think
B.
that's what it
So when
is.
Taylor Dane come off a song that's played on the R&B charts, or people gonna listen to Taylor Dane on the R&B charts because, or Hall and Oates. Hall and Oates was being played on R&B back in the '70s.
Yeah, I didn't
Sarah
even know
Smile was
some of their
played on
songs.
every black station back in the '70s. You
I didn't
know
even know they was white until I watched Past the Mic.
exactly. I mean, okay, well, I knew before then, but I'm saying,
I didn't know. I
but
was
then
like, oh my God, he's white.
Well, then you had Average White Band. You had a
Listen,
lot of groups that came up in the '70s that had that soulful thing about them.
because they listen to black people
They
music.
listened to black music, and black people accepted
Like
them.
Carly
Black people
Pride.
accept everybody. Carl, you know that. If you're good, we're going to accept you.
Yeah.
I just saw a clip
But
the other day.
You
David
just said
Bowie,
it.
of all people, was on the Soul Train. David Bowie was on Soul
yeah,
Train, singing "Let's Dance,"
yeah.
and black people dancing to that shit.
Yeah. If the music
Let's
is good,
dance.
us black people will listen to it. If we
Yeah,
jive with it, look, I took it back to the '70s. If we jive with it, if we, rhythm to it, we will listen to it. But if we don't have no
But
rhythm
if
or
you
no beat,
listen to it, if it's black, if it has a black sound to it.
black sound and the words have to be connecting to me.
and I didn't,
I
I didn't
have
know we
to
were gonna get
really
on this.
be.
I didn't know we were gonna get on this subject tonight, but since we're on this subject, and I'm wearing a Michael Jackson T-shirt from the Off the Wall album, right? Do you think this guy right here with this look could be called the King of Pop? No, he had to have the other look with the long straight hair and the pale skin to become the King of Pop. He couldn't be the King of Pop as a brown skinned dude with jerry curl. You know what I'm saying?
You don't
And
you don't
he sold more albums than any artist walking the planet. He still holds the world record for the most albums sold. Nobody's broken Michael Jackson's Thriller album yet. And you know what the second album is? Up to Thriller, the bad album. So Michael Jackson holds two records: the number one all-time selling record of all time album, and the second number one selling album of all time, which is his follow-up album, Bad. But it wasn't this guy. And the Off the Wall album is a good ass album.
That's
you know.
it's just sad.
So that's just the way he became a pop star. And once you become a pop star, even look at Beyonce, Destiny Child. Destiny Child was an R&B group. They ain't selling out no stadiums.
No,
And Beyonce is selling out stadiums right now.
and
And
she
guess
had to
what?
get to that level,
If
right?
somebody walk in here right now and put a gun to my head and say, "Tell me Beyonce's number one hit right now," I'll be dead
Because you
because I
don't
have no
know,
idea.
right?
I have no idea what the hell this girl's singing. And she is selling out stadiums. She got a movie out right now that's killing in the box office, uh, which is a concert film that people are paying to see, and it's bringing in millions of dollars. Her concert sold out so much. I think her and Taylor Swift are now considered billionaires, female billionaires now because
Great
they made so much
marketing.
money. They made so much money over the last couple of years. Taylor Swift and Beyonce are the number one selling artists in the world right now, and I have no idea what neither one of them two women sing. I have
But
no idea what the hell
look at
they
their
both singing.
marketing. Look at their marketing. They very
I knew what
smart.
Michael Jackson sung.
They
I knew what Prince sung.
you so
I knew
silly,
what
but the
George Michael
marketing,
sung.
you so ridiculous. The marketing is amazing. They marketing is good, and then she did
Yeah,
a
but
movie. And
I'm
then
with
she did a
Kevin, though.
movie.
But I don't know. I can't name a Taylor Swift song. I can't name a Beyonce song.
That's what
Oh,
I just said.
upgrade ya.
Exactly. You
What?
can name a George Michael song. You can name a Prince song. You can name a Michael Jackson song. You can name a Whitney Houston
I'm
song.
not into
You can
Taylor
name any
Swift.
artist from the 80s and 70s, right?
Right.
Right? If you were a big star, Madonna, name the biggest stars of the 80s. Madonna, George Michael, Prince,
Boy
Michael
George.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Who? And George, yeah,
Boy
those are
George.
the
He was
biggest artists of
popping
the
doing
they,
it.
they were the biggest artists I mean, those four right there, George Michael, Prince, Madonna, and Michael Jackson were the biggest
Top.
artists
They were
of
the top artists.
the top artists of the '80s. Those four people right there, and I can name all their hits. I can't tell you one hit Beyonce got right now. I can name some Destiny Child hit songs she got. I know some of her Destiny Child's
But did
songs.
they make their money? That's the thing. Are they making their money? I think
Oh, they're making
Beyonce
big
gave
money
her
now.
money and she
They're making
paid
big
her.
money
She
now.
paid her people. She
Yeah, they're
made
making
her
big money.
money and she paid her people.
I ain't mad at her. I'm happy for her. I mean, I'm pointing out the obvious though. I'm just saying she's a pop star right now and she's making billions, man. I ain't mad at her. She's doing her thing.
God
I want to
bless
be
her.
I want to be a fan, but I don't know what she's singing.
You know
I can't
what?
be a fan if I don't know what
Don't
she's
listen to
singing.
him. He's ridiculous. He's still trying to find out about Beyonce.
I am. I want to know what she's singing. Somebody hit us up in the chat room and tell me a Beyonce hit that she has on the radio right
The
now.
only song I heard recently was "You Can't Break My Soul" or something like that.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, you
that
can't break my
one. You
soul. Okay.
can't break her soul.
That's
And back in the day, that was and I'm from the DC area, so back in the day, we called that house music. You know, so
Oh
yeah.
yes, it was an honor to
that was house music
her
back in the
late
day.
gay
Yes,
uncle.
and house music was big in the Baltimore area. DC people didn't really like house music, but in Baltimore, house music was huge. In Baltimore, DC is separated by 30 miles, but the people are so different in both of those cities. For the folks that don't know, but yeah, house music is big in Baltimore. But that's a house music hit. You can break my
Well,
soul.
the
Yeah.
whole
Oh, she had the
music is
other
a
song too.
tribute to house music. The
She did
whole
have
album
another
is a
song.
tribute.
Okay, she had another song that I used in one of my videos, so I take that back. It's
I
the
was about to
one
say
when
you acting up.
she had one song that I used where she was cussing. What's the one where she says,
Break they along. That's
no, the
my
one
favorite
fuck
right
up, we're
there.
gonna fuck up tonight. That one.
Oh,
Oh yeah. That's another yeah.
And I didn't know that was Beyonce. I used that in one of my videos on Instagram. The voice, the music in one of my videos on we're gonna fuck up tonight. And I was like, and then I found out it was Beyonce. I go, I didn't know it was Beyonce. Okay. So she got a couple of things. Okay.
no, she has a lot of hits. Shout out to her whole team. Shout out to her.
Shout
She
out to
got good
Beyonce.
hits.
Shout out. Hey, I ain't mad at her. I just don't
Can't
know her
play a
shit
hate
that
or
well.
that. You can't play a hate.
I ain't hating on
Hey,
the
she's
sister at
doing
all.
it.
I'm telling you, I'm not hating on her.
Her and her
I just
husband,
don't know her
very
music.
smart.
But look, here's the deal. You just named two of her hits, right? That's not enough for me to pay $2,000 to go to a concert to see her perform,
Because you're
or
not a
to go to a movie,
fan. You ain't a part of
movie theater.
Beyonce.
I would love to see her in person.
Oh, that's what
I'm
I'm
just,
talking about. If I'm spending $2,000, I need to see her, Jay, and them children.
I'm saying that's all I'm saying. When I went to a
That's
Michael
a lot of
Jackson
money.
concert, I had the pleasure to see Michael Jackson in concert twice, right? So when I went to a Michael Jackson concert, I knew what he was going to sing. I've seen Prince in concert 3 times. I knew what Prince was going to sing. I knew Purple Rain was coming. I knew Controversy was coming. I knew Do Me Baby was coming. When Doves Cry, I knew Michael Jackson was going to do Beat It and Billie Jean and all his other millions of hits. I knew that. If I'm gonna go to a Beyonce concert, I'm gonna sit there and I have no idea. I tell you, I went to a Erykah Badu concert. At the time, I had no idea none of her hits. I enjoyed the
But
concert
did
because
you
Erykah Badu
enjoy the
rocks.
concert?
I enjoyed the concert because she's
Okay,
amazing.
you will go to a
But I
Beyonce.
didn't know
You're
none
gonna
of her
enjoy
songs
it.
though. I didn't know none of her songs.
They said she's very entertaining. Very.
Oh,
They said
I
she
would
didn't
like
even
to
have to
sit there and look
perform.
at
Her whole
Beyonce. She's very.
backstage. They said
I
the
hear.
way she had the stage set up was very fun and entertaining. So you would have had fun. She's fun.
I'm sure she is. I'm not knocking her. I'm sure she's an amazing. I've watched her other concerts on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. I know she's an amazing entertainer.
I love
I
her.
know
I
she's
don't want no other
incredible.
light skinned woman but her performing.
Oh, she's a bad girl. Oh, come on now. Come on. We got Janet Jackson out there. Don't play now.
No,
Don't.
Janet is good, but I'm just saying. First of all, Janet is the blueprint. Let's keep that real. Janet is the
Exactly.
blueprint for all of them. Janet was my first star I ever loved. But like I said, Beyonce ain't no other light skinned chick can mess with her right now. That girl is amazing.
Yeah. I can't Put a Ring on It. That's the only other Beyonce.
Yes, that's another one. Put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it. Yeah. So, but
Yeah, like men like that song.
when Michael Jackson and Prince was hot, they would come up with song after hit that you can sing along to, that you knew. You know what I mean? You hear the first line and you knew this was Prince coming. I can't do that with maybe I'm not paying attention, but like Beyonce, I mean, maybe I'm not
Y'all
up
not
to the time.
fans.
Well, you know
You
the
know,
difference is, guys. You know the difference is we all Prince and Michael Jackson and Madonna and George Michael and the people like that. They were in the video age too, where
yeah.
VH1, MTV, and all that, and BT
Yeah.
were popular with video shows. So
And
we we just cut on the television and just watch. Everybody gather around the TV to watch a Michael Jackson video.
but
Michael
because we
Jackson video,
broke boundaries. Remember, they wasn't letting black people on. We was
right?
in the era when music was started. It was the first time. It was the first time for this. We was in that era. So that's why I was so excited. That's why it's so rememberable. We will always remember those times. Even especially when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk. You put it up. Everybody sit around and watch that. So yes, we will never forget those moments and those times. And we salute them. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the artists that we have today. Shout out to
Okay.
Chris Brown. Because you know Chris Brown loved him some Michael Jackson. You can see
But
in
they all
everything
bite.
he
They all bit
do.
off of Michael. They all bite off of Michael.
Yes.
Everybody bit off of Michael,
The Brown version.
I mean, there's no Neo and Chris Brown and none of them guys about Michael Jackson. Yeah, Usher, all of them. You know, they all got Michael inside of them. You know, and this is a good thing. You know, so it's a good thing. Ain't
Well,
nothing bad about that.
we
We
hope y'all
started.
actors and actresses, y'all really black actors and actresses, get y'all life together. It's something. The white lady, they was comparing the white actress. The white actress get more than y'all black actresses too. So I don't even know why y'all trying to talk to the white women. They're not trying to mess up their pay to help y'all black asses.
I'm glad you. I was thinking the same thing. That black lady was saying that the white women got to help them. White women are trying to help them.
Help yourself. They getting more money. First of all, white
Yeah.
people getting more money than all of us in this world. Do you understand? They said they make 7 times more money than what we make. Okay, 7 times more money. So that means we're struggling out here, but we are still surviving. Cause what we
No,
are surviving.
I was gonna say the solution is for us to create our own businesses and pay our own
Period.
people.
Create our own
Yes.
businesses.
Businesses. What are you talking about?
But
We got Tyler Perry. We got
that's what I'm
No,
saying.
no,
freaking Lee
no, no,
Daniels.
no. Why
We
you
got
keep
all of these
mentioning him?
people already. They're not paying the black people. Even Chris Tucker, and a few other people came out talking about how much money they made on the they were paying peanuts for doing freaking what's the movie they did
Friday,
that was
Movie Friday.
Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
Friday came. Ice Cube made millions off of that movie, and everybody on that set made $5,000 and $2,500 and $1,500 and $3,000 and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
heard
that.
the
Well,
one
that
guy
movie,
said he only made $500 on that.
exactly. Guys, they make no money on that thing. People, so it's that's all I'm saying.
Hey, information man.
Hey, how's
Hey,
everybody
what's up,
doing?
bro? We're
What's
doing
up,
good.
bro?
All right, I just got back. Have you guys touched on the topic of Jonathan Majors, or are you still running through
No,
other
we
No,
topics?
we're
We
gonna
haven't
go
got
into
to that yet. We're about to.
about to
All
go
right.
right into it.
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna connect my audience over here into
Okay.
this conversation.
Yeah, because we got to talk about these snow bunny problems we got.
Right, and I also wanted to touch on the fact that you made mention about I think the color purple, the sister.
Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah, I have
Brian.
I have some things to say about that issue, and
Come correct,
I
bro.
just don't think black people like each other, which is why when you made the statement that it's black directors or producers, people who have the money, like an Oprah, who are sort of stiff in their own people. We know historically we've been stiff by white people in the entertainment business, but when you're getting stuffed by your own people, it really says a lot. And I think it all goes back to the fact that we have some underlying hate for one another, and because we don't respect one another as we respect that white. I'm just keeping it real. We'll give more respect to the white producer because we see them as people who have power, and they have the power to make sure that we never make it in the business, or those that are in the business, whereas we don't have the same respect for our own people because we see them in the same basket with ourselves. That's just a small observation I have about it.
Yeah, I mean, like Kevin, like where do we go? Okay, we go with the white producers and the white people that make the movies. We get paid. We are underpaid. We figure we can create our own content, create our own stuff. And like Kevin said, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, these people have studios. They have all this. Okay, so we go with them. These are our own people expecting to make better money, and they do the same thing. So where do we go? Like seriously, I'm thinking like, where do we go from here? There's like nowhere to go. Like where's Taraji P. Henson gonna go? She in Hollywood, she's getting underpaid. She goes with Tyler Perry and Oprah, she gets underpaid. So where do you go? I mean, the only thing she can do is speak out on it. Hopefully call them out on it, and they'll do better.
And she better hope they don't blackball her because she spoke out about it. Some of them be very upset if you talking about how do you feel.
The solution. I thought the solution was to have Black people create our own studios and pay our talent what they're worth. But apparently that's not even working. Tyler Perry has a studio. Oprah has a studio. And Taraji P. Henson is saying she almost walked away from The Color Purple because of pay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense.
That's why you have to pick
that talented sister. Mm-hmm. That talented sister to be in that frame of mind that she's in, because she's extremely talented and good at what she does. And I haven't seen the movie, but I saw some reviews on it today. And people say that girl can sing her butt off. And she's not even known as a singer. And people said they said she sang in that movie. Like the girl on TikTok was talking about today, said she sang they said she in that movie, the movie getting great reviews. They said the movie is amazing. They said Fantasia is amazing in the movie. The whole cast, they say, is amazing. So it's an amazing, because the girl that was reviewing it on TikTok, she was saying, I was afraid to go see it because how do you do another Color Purple? The first one was so good, But she was saying that she walked out she saw this thing, walked out the theater, and she was blown away how good it was. So
did the second Color Purple is on Netflix, or is it?
No, it appears in the theater.
It was
it appears in the theater. It appears in the theater though.
Tomorrow
on Christmas Day, yeah, they have a one that they showed in, I guess, out in LA.
Different. My friend said he saw it, and he said he felt like he was at Gay Pride Day.
Yeah,
because
really?
that Suge and Celie, they were intimate with each other in the book. So he said he thought he was at an LGBT but he said, but it was good. It was a good show. Fantasia did well. He said, but now as you see, this is the movie now. Listen, Taraji, first of all, most actors and actresses, they can sing. Most of them can sing. And if you look at Tyler Perry, most of his artists that go on his show, they can sing too, But also remember, everybody that's higher up are not good. Sometimes they can be bad with business. Look what's going on with Christian Keys. There's a lot of stuff going on with the business of making movies or doing shows. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that we would never know. But I don't know if I'm gonna go and see it because, like you said, it's nothing like the first Color Purple. But also, don't think that this is not a shade to Whoopi Goldberg, because this movie was made for her, not for Oprah. Oprah went and asked to have the Harpo part. She played she begged for that part. That part that movie was meant for Whoopi. Am I right, information man?
I believe so. That it was originally made for her. She was supposed to be, she had the bigger name at the time. Yes. Nobody knew who who Oprah was. We know, well, in Baltimore, where I'm from, a lot of people knew her from the news. You know, she started off as a broadcaster, but it was really her. But what happened is, you know, this happens in movies. You all know this, that sometimes you can have somebody that has a small character and they can steal the whole movie. You know, both of them became big off of it. But I'm gonna play the angel's advocate in here. And the question I have a different take on it. Why did we need another reboot of The Color Purple? Why are they putting this out in this generation when we know that movie has elements in which they have stereotyped black men as being chauvinists,
abusive
to black women? Now we know that all groups of people, all race of people can be abusive towards their women, all groups of men, but particular, you have a Steven Spielberg of the Jewish persuasion. Have you seen any of these other directors who don't have our paint job make a movie in which they portray white men or Jewish men or whatever groups as demonstrative towards their women? They have never made a movie. Why did we need to put this movie out to now color this generation with further stereotypical stuff? And let's be honest, most of the people who went to go see this movie were mostly baby boomers and Gen Xers. These younger generation, they don't want to see this shit. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah. You were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think it's a money grab information, man. I think Oprah bought the rights to the movie and remade it. You know, people remake movies all the time. You know, especially black movies. You know, they're making a Bad Boys 4 right now.
But why?
You know, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are filming Bad Boys 4 right now because it's a money maker, bro. People paid a lot of money to see Bad Boys 3 did good in the theaters, man. So it's just a money grab, you know.
Right, but you're not giving us what's happening with Hollywood, which is the same thing that's happening with the Marvel movies. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, no, it's all good, bro. We're just talking. It's all good. It's the same thing, like they just did, Wanda Sykes and them just did the remake of the Jeffersons, right? So,
I heard about that. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean,
that was funny. That was different.
And I was like, how they gonna do that? You know, they got Jamie Foxx to be George Jefferson, and
oh God,
I didn't think they could pull it off, you know. And so I just think remakes have always been part of the industry. Just like people remake songs, you know, some songs you ain't supposed to touch, but people still gonna remake songs, you know.
But seriously though, do black people respond well when we make feel good movies about ourselves? It seems like we're gonna respond to. Well,
I think the new movie. New movie has it. I haven't seen the movie, and I'm going to see it so I can give you a better review on it. But from what I understand, the new movie is supposed to have more positive images than the original one or the book that was turned into a movie. You know, I mean, the character Mister was a bad dude. You know, but I mean.
Danny Glover, shout out.
I watched Goodfellas 500 times in my life, you know, which is it's a mafia movie, right? With a bunch of Italians killing each other, right? I watched The Godfather. So Hollywood make movies, The Untouchables, you know. So Hollywood makes movies about white men killing each other, you know.
Right, but this is the difference, though.
Hollywood
makes movies where they make white men, even when they're killing each other, they make them heroic. That's why they make all these movies about all these outlaw cowboys or white cowboys, even though we know that cowboys were really black. They make these outlaws. They take their outlaws, the Billy the Kids, people who were despicable individuals if you do some research about their history, and they glorify them. They glorify the white gangsters, right? Whereas they'll demonize someone like a Bumpy Johnson, right?
Right.
They'll try to make a movie about
Doing the
him
same
and do it
thing.
all nasty and terrible, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the thing. This is the thing. The difference is that other groups of people and I call it Hollyweird, y'all. And Hollyweird, they give balance to other groups of people. They give no balance to black people. This whole thing that the reason why black people, you say, Carl, oh, well, black people won't watch the feel-good stories because we've been culturally conditioned to accept the garbage. It all started with those exploitation films that were produced by the same people that are telling me and you that we're brothers and sisters. People in the Jewish community were the ones that produced those kind of movies to make us look terrible. So we come accustomed to watching buffoonery when back in the 1920s and 40s, when you had what they call race movies, where you had Lincoln Films, which was created in 1919, black people had variety of movies that they enjoyed that weren't just about being a gangster. And then when that all flipped, and we lost control of our own, having our own movie companies, and it was in the hands of white folks to produce movies, they start to project the, as much as a lot of us see Superfly as a classic movie, I saw it, it was a classic, but we can be honest, movies like Superfly did a lot of damage to the psyche, especially of young men in the black community, as you to be a hustler. It did psychological damage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this stuff is because I found out that phrases like jive turkey and all that, that was all created by white Jewish men. That's not how black people talk.
Black folks don't talk like that. Yeah.
No,
you jive turkey.
You heard I said jive turkey.
Like Hollywood, that the movie Hollywood Shuffle, you all know it well.
Yeah.
That was excellent what he did. To depict the stereotypical stuff.
Yes, that was a very good movie. Y'all must watch it.
Job turkey.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna roll right now into our original topic. We are here to talk about Jonathan Majors, who was found guilty. And we are asking the question, did he get his Negro wake-up call? Did he get his Negro alarm? Did the Negro alarm go off for him? Does he get it now? Does he get it now? Date a snow bunny, you will lose your money.
Well, yes. And guess what? There was a black prosecutor that took him down.
Yes. So we're going to show a
and you know,
a black prosecutor.
Yeah, it was a black prosecutor that took him down. And
like,
that case didn't even.
Ninja, you should have been messing around with them snow bunnies.
And that shouldn't even have went to trial. That case wasn't even supposed to go to trial.
Went nowhere.
Should have went nowhere. Now this guy is going to lose millions of dollars. By the way, millions he's going to lose because Marvel dropped him. The other company dropped him, so which he was already scheduled to do a couple of movies. They were going to have him star as Ant-Man or something like that, which is going to be a multi-million-dollar movie. So he's lost millions of dollars
over some
white misdemeanor spat, lover spat, and that's all it was, you know, and initiated by her.
Yeah. Right. All right. Here we go.
When he go ahead, brother.
Go ahead. All right.
It took the jury roughly 6 hours to find actor Jonathan Majors guilty of assaulting and harassing his ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari. But Majors was found not guilty on the most severe charge, third-degree assault with intent to injure, and acquitted on count 3, aggravated harassment. Prosecutors argue Majors had been psychologically and emotionally abusive to Jabari during the couple's relationship. However, the defense said it was Jabari who attacked Majors back in March. The jury was shown pictures of Jabari's hand and head injuries, along with surveillance video from last March in New York City. Majors and Jabari got into a fight in a chauffeured SUV when Jabari grabbed Majors' cell phone because she saw a text message from another woman. The incident spilled out onto the street, where you can see Majors trying to push Jabari back into the vehicle before he takes off running. She then chases after him. Jurors were also shown police body camera of the following morning. Upon returning home, Majors called police because he says he was worried Jabari may have harmed herself after finding her unconscious on the floor. Majors' attorney released a statement expressing disappointment the jury, quote, found that he was somehow reckless while she was attacking him. The statement went on to say Mr. Majors looks forward to fully clearing his name.
Marvel movie star Jonathan Majors has been found guilty of harassment and assault of his ex-girlfriend back in March. Majors was charged with 4 misdemeanors, but was only found guilty of 2 of the 4 counts. He was acquitted on 2 others. Grace Jabari accused the actor of assaulting her in the back of a car after she saw a flirty text message from another woman on his phone earlier this year. Jurors at downtown Manhattan Criminal Court began deliberations on Thursday, and they reached a verdict of guilty on Monday.
Can I say
This
this
is
real
why
quick?
black love is revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? A black man and a black woman having kids, growing a family, it's a revolutionary act. And this is why I encourage black men to be with black women, because of this reason. Word to Dr. Umar.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Yeah. I'm just not going to give that much credit to Dr. Umar.
That's the one thing Dr. Umar, I mean, he's right about that. That's the one thing I can agree with him on wholeheartedly. Black men need to be with black women.
It behoove, especially black men, to date black women, or at least women.
Yes, it would behoove black men to continue to marry black women. Again, and I've said this in the previous video when I made my statement, I'm not against interracial dating or marriage. But black man, no woman will ever get you, understand you, feel you like a black woman will. I'm not saying women from other races or ethnicities or cultures are not beautiful or attractive. They are beautiful and attractive. All women are beautiful. But racism, discrimination in this world is not changing. It's not going nowhere, and it hasn't. And black people as a whole have been the strongest when the black family is together. Anytime they separate us, we get weaker. Every healthy black woman that's been with a healthy black man has made his life blow up. Healthy black women are beautiful, smart. They hold the culture down for us. There's nothing like black love, and there's nothing like looking at someone who looks like you and gets you, understands you without saying anything.
Black need to put some clothes on.
Black men have no business and have absolutely no business with snow bunnies.
Dropped a series of ads that Jonathan Majors was in promoting their new recruiting campaign. So the military dropped his ads. I think they're going to try to destroy the brother. Now, I don't condone bunny hopping. Those of you who know me know I absolutely do not condone bunny hopping. Black men have no business, have absolutely no business with snow bunnies. Absolutely no business dating outside the race. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But be that as it may, an attack on one black man is an attack on all black men. An attack on one black man is an attack on all black men. An attack on one black man is an attack on all black men.
So if that was a black couple, would he have been prosecuted?
I'll jump out the window and go ahead. Go ahead, Kev.
Go ahead, Kev.
But probably not. I mean, I don't think if O.J. Simpson allegedly killed his first wife, who was African American, it'd have been a big fuss. The big fuss was about it being a white woman, Nicole Brown Simpson, right? So if I don't know his name of his first wife, but if the same thing would have happened to his first wife, who was a black woman, you think white America would have been so upset about it? No, they wouldn't have been upset. So I don't think he'd have been convicted. It probably wouldn't even went to trial. It'd have got some publicity on TMZ and stuff like that, and it would have went away. The brother still have a career. The young lady actually didn't want to file charges. She tried not to file charges in the state of New York. In the state of New York, any sort of domestic dispute, a prosecutor can still prosecute even after anything happens. They can still come after you, even if the significant other say, "I don't want to press charges." So apparently, she didn't want to press charges, but they kind of forced her to, because they're like, well, you already called the police, or somebody called the police. They're here. We're gonna go with it. And they were just going after the brother because he's a celebrity, and people love going after celebrities. If he wasn't a celebrity, if it was just me and a girl, or calling a girl, or information man and a girl, and the same thing happened, none of this would have went past anything other than a slap on the wrist, most likely. It's all about him being a celebrity also. So yeah.
So basically, what Dr. Umar and what a lot of black men are saying, and a lot of black women also, is that when you're a black man, you need to focus on the black family and black women. Even if you're out somewhere at a gathering, you're at work, and you find yourself having great conversation with a white woman and everything, and you start you start to have feelings. Should we as black men say, you know what? I like this white woman, she's cool and all that, but she's not black. I need to focus on strengthening the black woman, on strengthening the black family. That's what we need to do. I think that's what Dr. Umar is saying. But a lot of people in our comments have said before, love is love. You love who you know what I mean? If you fall in love with a Chinese woman, that's fine. You fall in love with a Korean woman, you fall in love with a white woman, just go with it, because love is love. But what I'm hearing people like Dr. Umar saying, I believe we don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury as black people. We really need to focus on the black family.
Well, James Brown went to jail for domestic violence against a black woman. I mean, so it goes either way, right? I mean, if James Brown, he actually did time in jail for beating up his wife, who was a sister, right? So, Marvin Gaye, another person who, beat up his wife, who was black, and then got arrested and went to jail. I mean, so domestic violence happens to all couples, not just interracial couples.
No, but I'm talking about with what Dr. Umar said at the end and what the other brother says, that we need to, as black men, focus on the black family. And if you find yourself in a situation where you are being attracted to a white woman, you have to tell yourself, no, I need to find a black woman. Thank you. Ellie Mae, thank you, Ellie Mae, but I can't do it with you.
Who is Ellie Mae? You could have said Becky or Karen, but
Ellie Mae,
Ellie
Mae from Ellie. I didn't want to go with a regular Becky. I just made up Ellie Mae. Thank you, Ellie Mae.
Information man, what you gotta say?
I'm very disgusted right now. Let me first of all say what's up to everybody that's coming over in my channel. I want you all to make sure that you all subscribe to the Black Therapy Show. Basically, we're on StreamYards, and we're able to interconnect our channels, and that's great about what StreamYards allowed you to do. So everybody, I'm a guest. This is a great program here. We're talking about Jonathan Majors. We're talking about a whole host of different issues. So I'm glad to be able to broadcast for my audience, and I want my audience to, everybody, all the family over there, to make sure you come over and subscribe to the Black Therapy Show.
Yes. Leave a comment. Yes.
Support them because they go live every Sunday,
7 p.m.
7 p.m. and they do this, and they've been doing it strong. They were guests on my show way back when, and we're gonna bring them back over again. Let me just say this. I'm going to make some people upset right now. See, the problem in America is that white women have been put on a pedestal of the standard of beauty, and the white man has said, you can look, but you can't touch, Negro. They have always not liked us. Let's go back to the Birth of the Nation movie that was being projected in the White House. And the president said at the time it was truth spoken with lightning. What was in that movie? It portrayed that when you release black men from slavery into Reconstruction in this country, that the one thing that black men would do is that they would run, pillage, and be hungry for white women.
Mm-hmm.
And in that movie, they portrayed the Ku Klux Klan, who came riding to save the day in honor of the white woman, which is why you have the daughters of the Confederate who are responsible, know your damn history, for those monuments you got all around the South, or that you had in the South, the ones that they haven't taken away. You say, where am I going with this? Because psychologically, it's always been seen as a taboo when black men are in relations with white women.
Yes.
You've seen it in the cinema. You had the, what's that? The Mandingo movie. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where the white woman was lusting over the black slave that was a Mandingo warrior, and he was lusting over, you know, that story.
Mm-hmm.
So this issue about, well, yeah, Jonathan Major is an actor. They're going to blow everything up that actors do. That's true. But remember, isn't it interesting that this all happened when this brother was rising to a high level in his career very quickly?
Mm-hmm.
You see the video and you say, what is his brother guilty of? He's guilty of putting his drunk ass girlfriend in a car who was out of control. And damn if you do and damn if you don't, because let's say he didn't put her in that car that night and she got ran over in that street, in them streets. Then everybody would be saying, what type of boyfriend is Jonathan Majors? He let his girlfriend run around drunk. See, for black men, there ain't no out for us. We damn if we do, we damn if we don't.
Especially with white
He put her in the car because she was out of control. That's what they got him on, the assault, trying to save her ass from herself. Now, if you look at the rest of those videos later on that night, she went out partying.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene, one clip that's out there on these YouTube streets where he's walking down the street and she's hanging out with two guys and a girlfriend. And he walks right past and he sees her and her dirty deeds. Then she tries to come chase after him, and he says, nah.
Chased him.
Why did he put her in that car? Because he was trying to get her ass to go back to his condo. Take her ass back.
Yeah.
And then he walked off. He did what most people say a man should do when a woman get out of control.
Right.
Only guilty of putting hands on her to get her ass in the car. Now, flip this around. If she had to put her hands on Jonathan Major, because he was the one that was drunk or something and had to shove him in the car, and this whole thing went the other way around, she wouldn't be looking at no damn guiltiness. See,
facts.
This society has a problem with black men who represent something when they're engaging with white women. That's been the reality. Sure, James Brown beat up his wife and they had to arrest him, but James Brown had a history of putting his hands on women. He had priors. Let's keep it real here. He had priors. My man Bryce that played football in Baltimore, his career got ruined because him and his woman were fighting in the elevator. I totally get that. But Jonathan Majors represents in the 21st century to the white psyche another Mandingo, right? Because he's muscular, which is why prior to all of this, him being seen as this brutal black man now, prior to that, they tried to feminize the brother on the Ebony magazine.
Yeah.
So we can't have it both ways.
Which one is it?
We're putting him in pink. He allowed himself to be in pink because they were doing he was being one of these cartoon characters that these kids like. Right, that's why they had him dressed like that. He was portraying a particular anime character. People didn't realize that, but they feminized him on those photos to try to make him all soft. And now when he shows himself as a man and say, I gotta take control of my woman because she's out of control, get her in the car. Now the Negro is a criminal, and now all this time Disney, with their ass is going in the tank with their money and their bad movies. Now they want to fire him after they was hanging with him all this time and say, oh, we're going to have to get rid of this Negro now because he did exactly what we thought he was all the time, a brutal black man. That's what they want us to think. So Jonathan Majors did get a Negro wake-up call because he thought he had arrived. He had his white woman on his side, and it all blew up. Let me also say this. I don't want to hear any damn thing that I'm sorry, I'm going to make some people upset right now. I don't want to really hear anything that Umar Johnson has to say. I've been following Umar Johnson extensively. I've got videos on my channel where I've exposed him. He's been exposed by other guys, another brother by the name of Honors that I've been following for a long time. Umar Johnson doesn't even take care of his own damn kids. Umar Johnson's been in child support since I don't know when. Umar Johnson has been caught on video a couple of times, and I've got the videos, cheesing with white women. Umar Johnson was the one that said he didn't want black women having blonde hair and fake hair, yet he got caught with a blonde hair stripper some years ago that he was having a mess around with. So Umar Johnson's the last person to be telling black men who they should date when this man is not married, doesn't even take care of his own damn kids, and he's been working on a school for 13, 14 years in them trap bandos in Delaware, and I got all the receipts on it. So he shouldn't even be talking. That's just a side point.
Let me get this one, okay? Because I love you, Mr. Information Man. Don't make me take my earrings off on you because I wouldn't let nobody come for you. And as a black man, yeah, Umar has his ups and downs, but he also is a very smart man. Why I feel like I'm not into interracials, but love is love, is because every time I see a black man with a white woman, I see a black man hanging. Okay?
Yes.
Most of the reasons why black men were hung in the 50s and the 60s and the 40s is because they were accused of looking at a white woman. Okay? And not one time we was not even paying them no attention because, like you said, it's already in the DNA of white men that we are brutes. Black men are brutes, and they are over-sexual, and we have to protect our white women from them. This is what's been going on, and it's still how they feel today. So when they see you with one of their white women, they get very angry. They get very upset. They do not like that. This case shouldn't have even went that far. Because he did not hit her. He did not touch her. He was, as you said, pushing his girl in the car to go back in the car because you wilding out, Becky. You wilding out. And then when he tried to get away from you, I never saw a man run so far from the slave master's wife. It was like 3 to 4 blocks. He was running, like taking off. And she was after him, like, I'm getting him. I'm going to run after him. I'm going to run after him. And then when he walked right past her, she almost passed out. Like, oh my God, why? It was another white guy about to approach him because he was not messing around with her. So my thing is, again, and I tell black men, I tell my nephews, you choose who you want to love, but just know that women come with consequences, especially those white women.
But let me say this.
Consequences.
Let me say this, and you all will appreciate this. And Carl, if you got the video on this, bless you, brother. I hope you got the video on this. Do you all know? This is why a part of me doesn't feel that sorry for Jonathan Majors, because the Negro should have known better. Because just in 2022, there's a video out there. Carl, do you got the video where he's in his condominium in New York? And she was drunk in the house. This is not the first time he's had to correct her about her drunkenness. He was in the house telling her how she's embarrassing him and how he's a great man and he's trying to do great things for his people. And then the Negro, I got to keep it real, he made a big mistake here by saying, well, do you know who Aretta King is? Dr. King's wife. Do you know who Michelle Obama is? These are women who sacrifice and are presenting themselves properly for their men. And then I'm thinking to myself, Jonathan Major, you just messed up. If that's what you wanted, you should have got a black woman.
Yeah, he played himself when he actually thought those white women.
Carl, did you got that video?
Portray.
Please say you got that video.
That's ridiculous. I laughed at that.
I do have that video.
Yes, play that video.
I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah.
I think it was like audio. It was audio. I'm gonna look for it. I got it in my list right here.
Because it speaks 1,000 words to this issue about if that's what he wanted, he should have looked for a black woman that was on that level.
Well, I hope Megan Good is not a paid black woman on his side, because that right there look a little fishy to me.
Well, you know, she was married to the preacher, and he got rid of her too.
No, I don't think he got rid of her. He knew what he was getting himself in.
True,
He was trying to
but there was some
change
things
her.
about her that he wasn't liking for his preacher image. But you know, we know that
He
there's
missed
all
her.
sort of,
He missed her though.
there's take two to tango, right?
He should miss her.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because Megan Good is a nice looking girl, but we don't. Everything that glitter ain't gold.
Right.
So we don't know what's going on behind those closed doors, or if she's really for him, or she's just a black woman. Because now you know, once these men mess up with their little white women or Asian women, they start pandering back to the black woman.
Right.
And you know we're gonna let you back in, but you shouldn't have took your ass over there anyway, messing around with them in the first place.
I don't know. Another thing too, when you look at her, I'm thinking to myself, come on, Jonathan Majors, you could do better than that. First of all, why do black men get the bottom of the toe?
Talking about the white lady?
Yeah, they get the most. Come on, man. I mean, anyway, peace. I wanted to say peace to everybody in the audience out there that's listening. You're listening to the Black Therapy Show. I just connected my channel to their show, so you all enjoy this. And make sure y'all come over to the Black Therapy Show and subscribe to their channel.
Yes.
Please do so.
Thank you.
All right, I found a video. I had it already, but I just didn't.
You gotta play it, man.
Period. This is period. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really know, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan? I would like to get to the point where your friends know what job I'm on and go, I think Grace is gonna be out of commission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I won't.
No. Do you understand that? Because that team, that unit, right? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
I know, I'm not. I shouldn't have gone out. I'm
No,
sorry.
let me just lay it out for you, right? If I'm just gonna say this. My temper, my shit, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man, a great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. That's real. I'm not being a dick about it. I didn't ask for it. I've worked, and that's the situation. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately. Last night, 2 nights ago, you did not do that. You did not do that.
I'm sorry.
Which took away from the plan. And the plan is everything. If it was just you in the house drunk, maybe I could have swallowed it. Or I would have felt bold enough like, oh, babe, let's just go to bed. Which I said to her, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm not hungry, blah, 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 blah. Because Grace isn't here. Why? She was drunk. Why else? She was clogged by whatever was going on. You know what I mean? Fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She was dead serious. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was basically telling her to have some class.
Black class.
You know.
Not the white class. He want her to have some black class.
Carry herself a certain way. If she's going to be with him, he wants her to carry herself a certain way. And she's coming home all sloppy drunk. And he doesn't seem like he was having it.
But But why would he use those two black women to tell her how she's supposed to act?
Because they have class. The way they carry themselves, they have class.
Yeah. I get, Carl, I get why he said that. But at that time, the brother has to look at himself closely and say, if he wants that type of woman,
get one.
He should have closely vetted her as he is working in his career. And for this to have happened in 2023, and he was already having problems with her in 2022 and maybe before that, where she had this drinking issue. So black man or any man, if you're with someone like that, get out of that situation.
Yes.
If if he or she is embarrassing you, it's time to let it go. Now you could say, well, maybe he loved her. I don't know, because he damn sure got him another woman. And it's interesting that he got himself a black woman very soon in this process.
She could have been the one that was texting him.
We know what this is. We know what that's. We know what that's all about, guys. Come on. I don't think all of a sudden. Hey, you got a good point there, Tiff.
Yes, you do.
Could have been texting Megan Good. That could have started the whole fight right there. Getting text from Megan Good.
Let me tell you something. I would have gave him when I saw him perform. I would have gave him some ass. I don't understand when I saw him over there messing around with that white woman. I was like, what is wrong with him? He's one of those, okay? Amari Hardwick, that's another one. Let me tell you something. They kept his wife quiet. Think about it, Information Man. They kept his wife quiet during the time when he first started Power. I never knew his wife was white until I think the 4th or 5th, 6th season.
Yeah, I knew that for a while.
Out with the baby. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I knew that for a while.
I was appalled. I was appalled. I was done. I couldn't look at him the same way. I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry, y'all. But
would you agree, no matter what the race of the person is, at the same time, man or woman, and you've got a career, you can't allow anybody who's a loose cannon like this you can't allow yourself to continue being involved with them.
But he learned fast.
Right, he learned fast.
Right,
I just personally had a problem
with
him bringing up those two distinguished women in that situation when you chose to be with this woman. Anyway,
go ahead, Kev.
I'm sorry, Kev.
No, it's okay. So he chose to be with her, and he's Jonathan Majors, popular actor, getting some bank, getting some recognition. He has no problem getting women, obviously, right? So if he's with this chick, obviously he has some sort of feelings with her, because Jonathan Majors can have a lot of different women, right?
That's true.
Obviously, he probably did. He was texting somebody as he saw the text. She probably wasn't the only one, right? But there's a reason he was with her. There's a reason he's with her. If she's a problem, he knows she's a problem. Okay, well, you can get that from anywhere, Tiff. It's not just her. It's a family Christmas show, by the way, ladies and
gentlemen. Sorry, everybody.
I'm just saying. Okay, it could be sexual, Tiff. It could be a sexual thing. Maybe she's good in bed. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the brother lives out in L.A. There's a lot of women out there that's probably good in the bed, right? So it ain't no shortage of good women in the bed in Los Angeles. All right, especially when you're making money. But when you're making money, you get a little bit. But I mean, if he's with her, then obviously he liked her. I don't know if he loved her, but obviously he had something that he dug about her to make him stick with her, even though he knew she's a loose cannon. He was trying to school her to get better behind closed doors. As you heard in the recording, he's trying to get her to be better because he wanted to be with her.
Okay,
I think he wanted. I think he wanted to be with her. Now, look, I'm not go as far as Dr. Umar Johnson. I know how he feel about this so-called snow bunny thing, this interracial dating, and he's very hard on that, and so is Tiff. I'm not gonna go out. Some of, and I've said this on the show before. Some of the most amazing black men in this country, has had white women. People that we celebrated on this show, like Helen Belafonte, was married to a white woman. Who marched with Dr. King and did a lot for the civil rights movement in this country. Others, Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, there's a lot of people that that had interracial relationships I don't think that makes or break you as a black man. If you have interracial relationships, I'm not going down the rabbit hole of Dr. Umar Johnson and his interracial feelings. I don't, you know, I don't not condone it. Is that the right word? I mean, I think that, people fall in love with who they fall in love with.
Right,
People
you
are
right, to
attracted to
each
who they're
his
attracted
own.
to. And I, and
But
I don't,
just know it
I don't
comes
think
with
a
consequences.
white woman can ever know what a black man goes through,
Never,
right?
ever.
I was in the grocery store today. The lady ringing up my groceries was upset because she had some sort of altercation with a black guy earlier today that she was ringing up. I don't know what happened, but she was overheard her tell another lady that she got into with some black guy for some reason, and he called her, a couple of names and stuff like that, and called her racist, and she was telling me that her kids are black. She's like, I got black kids,
I'm not
and
racist. My kids is black.
so well, she has black kids, so she can't be racist. She got black kids, I
Oh,
guess. I don't know, but
stop
she
it.
got
You can
black kids.
still be racist and have
She
black
has black kids,
kids.
so she was saying she raised, but she was telling me that she talked to her kids. They're not young kids anymore. They're teenagers, but she says she would never understand what it's like to be a black man. And she knows that from talking to her kids. She would never know what it's like to be a black man. She understands what they deal with. She don't understand, but she knows that she would never understand what it's like to be a black person. And black people
Or
do deal with racism.
interracial.
Right.
Yeah.
But keep
So
this in mind, though. There's been a history of white people who had black children or white men. I mean, white men, white people have had black children that were mixed, and there's been no shortage of well-known white men in history that have been in those slave quarters, messing around with black women,
Salad
and then
Emmons.
having these
hell
mixed
yeah.
babies, but still
I
keeping
know
their
that.
babies in slavery, still oppressing the black woman that they laid down and had those kids with. So that's why
I know
when
that.
people use that statement, I'm not saying you don't know that, Kev. When people use that statement that my kids are black, I understand why they're saying it. But I also understand that there are plenty of people in this society who have kids that are mixed like this, and they still can have, especially when it comes to men, because one thing about some guys, they don't. Sometimes when it comes down to the pootain, they don't care what skin color you are. They just want to get
Because
the
it don't
pootain.
have a color. It's a hoe.
Okay.
I get it.
So what's up, highly favored? What's up, baby? We know how she feels about interracial dating. She says, "Oh, it definitely makes a black man look weak interracially dating on many levels. So regardless of how you cut it, if a black man is dating outside his race, it makes him look weak." I guess, but a lot of black men, most men respond to. I know I can only speak for me, and I know a lot of men respond to, if a woman shows interest in me, I'm gonna show interest back. But what I'm hearing, but what I'm hearing, is if that woman is not in your culture, she's not of your race, then you need to not take it any further. Just go, no, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait for a woman who is black.
And you supposed to.
Okay. Tiffany, I'm gonna give that some fire, because white men seem to do it, right? Chinese men seem to do it. I'm sure Chinese men work with black women, white men work with black women.
They don't look at us.
They still, and I'm sure they have great relationships with black women, but they never cross that line where they ask them out, right? They never ask them out. But for some
reason, their parents told them not to.
But we black people, black men, seem to do it. We seem to take that other step. And I remember on the previous show, I said, are black men most loving? Are we most stupid? And I remember highly favored said we are absolutely most stupid for taking that extra step. If you find yourself getting feelings for a woman who's not from your race, you should say, no, I can't, you know what I mean? And take it in another direction, but we don't do that. But like I said, white men do it, Chinese men do it. They stick with Chinese men stick with Chinese women, Korean men stick with the Korean women. you know, white men stick with white women, but black men, for whatever reason, we always, you know, take them.
I don't look at no white man. I don't know. A white man better not look at me because I am not sleeping with the slave master killer. That is not going to happen. I don't look at him like that. I don't even, it's nothing like a black man. I love y'all black men. I love y'all very much. It's nothing like y'all.
Let me make this statement here. There is interracial dating across the board. If you go to the UK, I think the UK has more interracial couples than we got here in the States. Interracial dating, in the UK, you have a lot of mixed race people in the UK. What I'm going to say here is this, because I know there are black women who say that black men always are dating outside our race and what have you, because it's what you see. But for the most part, if you look at the data, the statistics, most black men, when they get married, they marry a black woman. There are larger numbers of black men that when they do marry, 9, 10 times the woman is of a black background, right? And then there's a percentage of black men who are dating outside their race. You see it here on the YouTube streets. You got this passport bros. You got guys who talk about, well, black women are not treating me this way. They're giving me attitude, blah, blah, blah. Black women overlooked me when I was a nerd in school and I was thriving to do something with my life. They ran after the muscular dude that's cool, who's ran through them, doesn't want them anymore. And now when I've built myself up and made a life of myself and I chose the person who likes me, then you say, well, black women get mad and say, oh, you're with a white woman, right? I mean, these are some of the things that people talk about on the YouTube streets, these types of narratives, right? But at the end of the day, people are going to marry and be with who they want to be with based on who makes them happy. But when you do marry someone of another race who doesn't understand your culture and you start catching hell and you wondering why they don't understand you, then don't come crying to the black community now. That's what I'm basically saying. Don't come crying to us. You made the choice.
And I love you, Jeezy, because he went messing around with that Jenny Ma. And now he came back trying to talk to us. But I still love you, Jeezy. Everybody makes a mistake. Now, I want to ask y'all, have y'all slept with the slave masters' wives?
Nah, not me.
I know you haven't, Mr. Information Man. You ain't never touched them, right, baby?
No.
Okay, good. You ain't tainted. I'm going to call you. What about
I like my black women and things of that nature, but you know, you're gonna indict the other brothers on the panel now.
I've been married twice to women of color, and I'm currently engaged to be married to another beautiful woman of color.
Good.
But yeah, in my life, in my travels, I've in Dr. Umar's language, I've done some bunny hopping.
Dr. Umar is gonna get you.
I've done my share of bunny hopping. I bunny hop with Asian women, white women, Hispanic women, Latin women, whatever you want to call it, Indian women. Hey, I've traveled the world, so you know.
That's a rainbow bunny hop top. What are you doing? You got all the colors.
I've traveled the world as a young man. What was I supposed to do? You know, a young single man when I was traveling the world. I was a young single man traveling the world. So you know, was out there, you know.
Right.
Hey, I ain't mad at myself.
So
okay, so I got married in Barbados. So there was there are a few white women there, but you know, 99.999% of the women are black. So I mean, for a black man to be involved with a white woman in Barbados, and 90% of those relationships are white women who came from America, Europe, or whatever. So I didn't have a white woman, and I was married for 30 years in America. You know, my wife came here; she's black, and so I didn't have an opportunity. The opportunity to be with a white woman has.
That's good. So you ain't tainted. Only Kevin.
By default.
Can I say something? If I was single, Let me say something real quick, bro. If I was single right now, the person I am today, sitting here as a 59-year-old black man right now, today I wouldn't date a white woman. If I was a single and I was playing the field, as they say, would I date a white woman right now? No. In my 20s, I did. You know, in my early 30s, I guess I did maybe. But as right now, no, I wouldn't. I would probably, if I was single, I would search for a woman of color to be my significant. I wouldn't
Thank
be with a
you.
white woman right now in this day and age. No,
Let me
couldn't
let me say,
happen. Wouldn't happen.
let me say this, and I'm not going to speak for all men. You know, the guys that are in the chat and they're watching the show. I've been talking to white women. You know, we having a conversation and we're hitting it off, and you know our personalities are clicking, everything is fine. But I'm not looking at her in front of me. There's this white woman. There's just this person that I'm getting along with, and I'm being 100% on that. It's just you have to then tell yourself, oh my, you have to, you know what I mean, snap out of it or whatever, I guess, and say, okay, this person is great. She's great personality. You know, I can't take this next step. I have to keep myself because the black family needs me more than the white family needs me. So is that what I'm
on your shoulder?
Is that what we're doing? Is that so?
But
That
you already
message is that
I
that's
think-
the message for all black men. You got to remember the black family needs you more than the white family does. So
Right.
regardless of how wonderful this white woman is, you got to save yourself for a black woman.
I think.
But you're not starting a black call. We're not at our age, call, and we're probably around the same age, I would think. We're not starting a black family. So if we're single. If you're a single man and Kevin Lee's a single man, and I'm out here playing the field, and I just happen to be attractive to a white woman or Asian woman or whatever, I'm not looking at my age right now to start a family. I'm just looking for some companionship.
The argument is
Companionship is different than family, brother. Now, if I'm in my 20s and I know I'm gonna try to find a wife down to go through this life with, then that makes sense what you just said. But you know, when you're in your late 50s or 60s and you just a single man and you're looking for companionship, somebody that you get along with, because you can date all the black women in the world, don't mean you gonna get along with them, bro. You just might get along with this white girl. That don't mean you're gonna get along with the 5 sisters that you date or that you met when you were single, right?
But the
right?
argument is,
but
and Kevin Lee and Carl Yard, when we pass on, whatever wealth we have, whatever money we have, is going to go to that white family. So even though we're not raising an
Now
actual
you sound like Dr. Now you sound like Dr. Umar, bro.
No, he sounds like Minister
Well,
Farrakhan.
actually,
Because Minister
saying that's the
Farrakhan
argument.
That's actually true, though. Your wealth is going to pass on
Right.
to her family, to that legacy will pass on. I just look at it like this: if my preference is to be with a black woman, and I run across, because this is the kind of stuff that I hear guys talk about on these YouTube streets. So you have some bad experiences with a few black women that you have in your life. Everybody has bad experiences with people, right? And then you begin to say, well, that's what all black women are. So then you say, well, let me go try it over here because the grass is greener on the other side. And then you go over there to the other side and you find out that, oh, it doesn't matter what race, it's the nature of the person.
She's still a woman.
If you got a woman or a man and ain't no good, they're going to treat you no good. So a lot of guys will leave this country, fly all the way to another country looking for something better or what they think is better because they've had some bad experiences. But I know with using common
Sisters
sense.
do that too. Sisters do that too.
Sisters do that too.
Both
But
ends.
I know with common sense.
We know one by the name of Tina Turner.
Right. Tina Turner is a perfect example of that. You're absolutely right, Kev. But I know that there are black women out there who are not like the black women that I might have had bad encounters with or bad interactions with. So I'm not going to automatically paint the whole group and say, well, all black women are this because I had these bad experiences. Now, some guys may, but that's not how I operate because we know that within the black community, we're not all monolithic. We all don't think alike. We have different backgrounds, different experiences. And so at some point in time, you have to start looking at yourself and saying, why do I get myself involved with these types of women? What is it that I could do different? How am I meeting these women? What am I not looking for? Because I think it's easy just to say, let's jump on a plane. And I've said this many a times to people. If you go to a country like Brazil, I've got family in Brazil. If you go to a country like Brazil and you hear guys all the time saying, oh, the women in Brazil are so much better. Most of the women that they're getting with in Brazil are women that are not married up. And if you know the culture, in that culture, they marry very early. So you have to ask yourself, why is it that the guys who live in Brazil, who speak the language and know the culture than your butt does when you jump on a plane, why haven't they not married those women up if those women are so much better? No, those are the women that are the thoughts. Sorry, Sister Tiffany, I got to be honest here. These are the women that are seen as thoughts, hoes, and the Brazilian men won't mess with them because they know that those are the women for the streets. So those are the women that American guys fly over to Brazil. I know this because family members have told me this. They see it. They fly over to Brazil. They get with these women who treat them super good because they see these guys as one big giant passport to get to America.
And also
so they're going to do all
too.
this shit for you. They're going to do all this shit for you.
For
and they might even
$100 a
have
week.
to get to America so that they can divorce your ass, and they might have a boyfriend back in Brazil that they bring over. You know why I know this? Because this happened to somebody that I know personally.
I know somebody
she brought
too.
her man over after using this American dude, right?
Yeah.
So I always look at that when guys talk about the women in other countries being so good. I'm saying, what is the history? What is the culture? The culture is that you get married and you get married early. The culture dictates it. The men don't marry those women because those women are the night walkers.
You know, men ain't thinking about that. They only
I know that, but
about...
a lot of these guys, I'm going to say some guys fly over to these countries.
Yeah.
They thinking they getting the cream of the top when the men in those countries, if those women are the cream of the top, they would have been married
already
by the
but
men there. They're
the
not
ladies
because
of the
they're
night.
women of the streets, and the men there know it. Nobody wants to deal with that issue.
But wait a minute, I not to cut you off, Carl. You saying that those men that go over there, sometimes those women be getting them. One girl said she puts on she'll put something on his neck, and then he'll kiss her, and then he'll pass out because she done put something on her neck because So that's what I'm saying. Men need to relax because they tell you a man's downfall is women and money. Please don't let that be your downfall. Messing around with them passports.
What happened to? Let's go biblical here. What happened to? Who was the greatest king in the Bible?
King David.
King David.
Right. Who's the other one who tried to make the Tower of Babylon? Who's the guy who's behind that?
That's Solomon.
Solomon. Didn't God tell him to leave? He was. I guess he was enthralled with the women in Egypt.
Yeah,
and God told him to leave them women alone, and he didn't listen. God said, you can have all the women that you want right here in your community, but leave those women alone, the pagans, I guess they would call it. And what happened? His whole kingdom came crumbling down.
Let me read Angela Caraway, who's migrated over in the Information Man show. Welcome, Angela. She is on par with highly favored. She says, enough is enough. There's no excuses to be with anyone outside of your race. Enough is enough. There's no excuses, no reason. It's not, but it's easy to sit and say that, but it's not, you know what I mean? Sometimes you could be single for years going by, and if somebody comes by who's not of your race, what are you supposed to do? I'm going to wait another 10 years.
You're going to do what you have to do.
Almost 15 years. I'm not letting no white man come by and say he want to take me out and I'm going out. I tried to sniff a white man. I tried to sniff him. And he did not smell like cocoa butter and black man. I'm sorry. It's not going to work.
He didn't get the cookie. He didn't get none of your cookies.
No, he would never get. I tried to smell. You just tried. Let me just smell how he. I was like, oh, he smelled white. No, I don't want it. It's not like a black man.
Let me ask you all this question and let me promote right now. Everybody in the chat room, all the chat rooms that are listening, you're listening to the Black Therapy Show. They go live every Sunday around 7. Great show. I connected to my channel. So this is their broadcast. I want people that are following my channel to come over and subscribe to their channel and start giving them support. I have to say that because they have great discussions like this every week, every Sunday. Let me ask this question then. Do you think that this is going to ultimately ruin Jonathan Majors' career going forward? This situation, do you think it's going to scar him? Can he recover from this situation?
He might be in Medina.
No. Well, yeah, he might. Here's his. I think if he gets Tyler Perry and people like that to give him work, he can get some work. I think as far as getting work from white Hollywood per se, at this point, I don't know. It might blow over, bruh. It might blow over. It might blow over, and he'll end up in some more movies because apparently he was good at what he did. I haven't seen a
He's an
Jonathan.
awesome actor.
I haven't seen one of his movies yet,
What?
but I hear he's an awesome actor. I haven't seen none of his movies yet, but I hear he's an awesome actor. I don't think it's going to ruin him. I think he will bounce back. I just think it's going to be quiet for a while. Hopefully, the brother got some cash put away, and hopefully, his little relationship with Megan Good is sincere because I know she got a little bank, and that'd be all right, you know. So, hopefully, he puts some money away because sometimes um, it ain't all what it looks like. A lot of guys are doing movies and stuff like that, and you think they're filthy rich, and these guys aren't filthy rich. You know, these guys don't have the money.
You think if a white man has smacked his black girlfriend or
Over,
that
you know, people been in worse situations and ended up still having careers. You know, in Hollywood, been accused of doing. So, I think he'll be back.
Carl, let me give you this example. Yeah, I think he could, but what I notice about Hollywood entertainment, and maybe you guys know
Tiff, you
better
still
than
there?
I do, is that when black people get involved in indiscretions.
Okay, everybody gone?
No, we here.
We're here.
Okay, I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still here, but you're just frozen. Same problem I had too a few times in the past. It happens. I don't know. StreamYards be tripping sometimes. I just wanted to say this though. Usually when black people in entertainment have an indiscretion like this or something, it does scar our career a lot more because in general, we don't get the jobs like our white
counterparts. Yeah.
We don't get as many job opportunities as they get. So I think this is going to set the brother back and his paint job is not going to hurt him. It's not going to help him. I'm going to tell you why there's a double standard. I'm going to give you guys a perfect example. Are you all familiar with Dana White? Dana White slapped his wife. Dana White is a guy who sponsors all that MOA fighting and all of that. And all of that. He's like a promoter and all of that, well known within the sports industry. He got caught at a Waffle House, slapped his wife not once but twice on video. And then all the executives at ESPN, because I talked about this on my channel. They told all the people at ESPN not to read. We got echo effect here.
We do.
Kev to mute his phone.
Yeah.
We have an echo.
That's what it is. Kev,
We have an echo effect. Okay.
Yeah, just mute your phone.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Slapped his wife several times, and when it got back to ESPN because he's in the sports industry, they told a lot of those TV personalities like your Stephen A. Smiths and all of them not to really get into it. Don't really talk about it. And he slapped his woman.
That's all about that money.
And he didn't go to jail. He didn't get demonized through the media, right? Just like when basketball players in the NBA get themselves in trouble, we hear all about it, right? But then you got this white kid. There's a white basketball player that's been caught up in some mess, and everybody's being hush-hush about what he may have done allegedly, okay? So I think when we get involved in indiscretions, we pay a heavy, I think he could get back in acting because we've seen black actors, who had some problems get back into acting, but I think he's going to have a heavier price to pay. he's going to have a harder road to pay.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a
Right?
whole
Because
lot.
which one of these major studios are going to be willing to take him on when you've got the whole Me Too movement, which has been designed and been targeting black men? They've been
Or he's
targeting
going to have to take
black men.
a pay cut.
Yeah, he's going to have to take a pay cut. He may have to take smaller roles. But the question is, some of these companies don't want the bad press. They don't want to see people boycotting, because you believe me, we're going to have a group of people out there that are going to boycott a studio that tries to put them in a big production. And remember, we can't get away from this as a fact. He put his hands on a white woman, not a black woman. Nobody cares about the truth of the matter is this society does not care about black women. They care about white women that they have put on a pedestal historically. He put his hands on her. He's going to pay a price.
Let me play this video. You're talking about nobody cares about black women. Check this video.
I'm unmoved by white tears. Most of us are unmoved by white tears because we don't actually think they're real. It's a performance. It's a switch that you turn on because you know that we have been socialized to see you as more human and of more value. So whatever it is you think and whatever it is you feel, we are supposed to respond to it. Y'all don't respond to black women crying the same way. Nobody does. Nobody does. The minute a white woman cries, the world has to stop. Oh my God, what's wrong with you, baby? Black women cry, we could be rolling around on the ground screaming. And you are moved because you've been socialized not to see us as human beings. Fuck. Our tears don't matter to you, but a white woman, and y'all know that shit. That's why I'm not here for the fragility. You know that. And so you very deliberately turn the shit on as a way to avoid accountability.
Yep.
Purposefully. That's not fragility. That's manipulation. That's strategic. That's diabolical. That's not fragility. And so this notion of white fragility is supposed to tell us what? We're supposed to let you off the hook because you can't handle it? No, you don't want to. And every time we hold your feet to the fire, all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. You didn't have to know. And now that I'm trying to make you know, you want to cry so we can end the conversation. This is how you run away. So how do I hold you accountable if you're all up in your feelings? How come I don't get to be in my feelings? I'm sitting here telling you about generations of your people. Your ancestors killing mine. How come I don't get to turn tears on and move you? Sounds like I should be the one crying, no? Your ancestors. Sounds like those tears should be mine. Sounds like the fragility might be mine, but no, I gotta be strong. Look at me. I gotta sit here and this is the thing that really pisses me off. In your tears, you not expect me to hold your hand and rub your back and make you feel better because you're crying. Again, you're centered. Your experiences are more important than mine. That shit is diabolical. I'm not here for it.
She said, you know, as soon as a white woman starts crying, the world has to stop.
It's always been like that. It's always been like that. That's why we need to worry about self and be careful on who we entertain. Like we said, love is love, but always know it's consequences that come with your love, baby, especially loving white women.
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah.
I wonder. Now, Jonathan Majors said, I think he made a quote saying that he's been very supported by Megan Good. That she's been giving him comfort. And maybe I'm hoping that the brother can learn from this situation, come out of it stronger than he was before. I think everything that happened, they criminalized. Now, you know this is another thing too. He has to go for his sentencing on February the 6th.
Yes.
They're saying that he could possibly
Look
do
at
a
or
year
something.
in prison. It would be very unfortunate if he were to be sent to prison. Now, this is the problem that I have. It seems to me that the part that she played in this nonsense, that she's not going to be held accountable for the role that she played in this whole situation taking place. But he's going to be the one held accountable.
Suffer.
He's going to be the one that's going to be going to jail, which means he's going to lose income for a year. And because he goes to jail and has the conviction on him, if they're going to send him to jail, but it looks like from what I was reading that he may very well go to jail. And as a result of that, that in itself is going to hurt his acting career being locked up. Because he ain't going to get no Iron Man treatment. You know who I'm talking about when I talk about Iron Man. That dude been in and out of jail, drug abuse.
Downey, what's his name? Downey.
He ain't gonna get no Downing. He ain't gonna get no Downing treatment.
Yeah.
And that dude been in and out, and look what happened to him. He been in and out of jail, prison, and he gets out, gets out, and gets him the Iron Man gig and rebuilds his career. Right?
Because he
I
got
wonder
skin
if Jonathan
protection.
Major gonna get the same benefit of the doubt. Here you got a man who was in the MCU, the Marvel Universe. Now they're taking him out. They fired him. But here you have Downing, who had a history of foolishness with drugs, off and on, going back and forth to prison. And then when he gets out and does his time, they say, Downing, we're going to make you Iron Man. We're going to rebuild your career. Black men, black actresses, black people, we don't get the benefit of the damn doubt.
No.
So highly
Now,
famous.
you know who's gonna give him a shot? Who's gonna work with him?
Who?
As much as we talked about the black producers not paying us what we should be getting,
Tyler
you
Perry.
know they'll be the first ones to put him in a movie. A Tyler Perry, give him a shot.
But why don't? Speaking on that, why can't we do? Don't we have enough black people in this country to support each other? Why can't Tyler Perry be the, you know what I mean, be the one we go to and make a living and be happy with that? Why can't it be happy with 5 million? Why do I need? I mean, I kind of know we're human. Everybody wants to make the most money. But if the people on this side don't like us, you know what? Forget them. I'm going to stick with Tyler Perry and Oprah and whoever else, and
I don't even trust
Kevin
them.
Hart and whoever. But they're black, so we try to stick together. And if Tyler's making a movie, Oprah's making a movie, let me stick with them and try to make as much money with them and forget those other people. Why do we still keep going to those people? It seems like we keep begging them. I get annoyed because it seems like we want them to love us so much. That's the feeling I get. We want to be accepted by Hollywood, who keeps rejecting us, and we keep going back. Please take us, and they reject us, and we keep going back. You know, can we say to hell with them and just stick with the people who look like us?
It's a dysfunctional relationship that we've been having with them for years and years and years.
But I said this earlier in the show, Carl. I said this earlier in the show before Information Man came on. I think about the Whitney Houston movie that I watched tonight. And I was just saying,
yeah,
Whitney Houston was the biggest star in the world, and all her criticism came from black people who wanted her to be blacker.
Yeah,
So it's a no-win situation.
Yeah,
you can't make everybody happy.
Which is what I said earlier. I mean, there's no way. Where is Taraji P. Henson gonna go? She is in Hollywood getting underpaid. She goes to Oprah and Tyler Perry. She gets underpaid. Like, you know, where do we go?
She gonna probably, like you said, create her own. And for Jonathan Major, to be honest with you, him and Megan Good should put their money together, put a movie together, and put it on what's that? T-Move? What's the name of that Tubi?
Tubi.
Yeah, they should go make a movie together. They both are actors. They can be producers. Start creating your own thing. People will watch it. I'll watch it.
I want to
Highly
say,
favored says when Jonathan Major, if he goes to jail, he's going to get out and go back to a white woman.
Well, if he go back to a white woman, that's on him. Because
Hey,
if he didn't learn from that
OJ,
last white woman,
OJ went back to white women. OJ came out of prison. He went right back to white women.
right. Keep this in mind, though. We do know that he's in a relationship with Megan Good. Let's hope that that's fruitful and it can be something that's real. I think the problem with black people when we work together is the same thing. It's I call it the can I get a hookup? Disease that we have. If I had a store, Carl, if I had a store and you went to my store and I'm a black man owning, I have a store, you're going to come in the store and you're going to say, oh, brother, why can't you charge me?
Oh yeah, Kevin.
Why can't I get a black man? Why can't I get a black man discount, a black people discount? This is the pressure that black people do to other black people in business. Can I get a discount, right?
Kevin,
Well, check this out. When it comes to what Kev was saying, it's the same thing in reverse with our black producers. They want you to act in the movies, but they want you to give them a black people discount.
Kevin, how many
Ladies and gentlemen,
how many times do they say to you, hey, man, can I get some free tickets to come to your show?
All the time, man. All the time.
Right?
Let me say this again. This is the Black Therapy Show, everybody. I'm connected to the Black Therapy Show. This is their program tonight. We just connected by way of StreamYard. So I want you all to go over to the Black Therapy Show and subscribe, hit the bell notification. They go live every Sunday around 7. Great show, great content. Everybody who's listening out there, subscribe to their channel. I'm just a guest. We just connected by way of StreamYard. But that's our problem. We have this can I get a hookup syndrome within the black community.
We do feel you're black, I'm black, you shouldn't charge me. You know?
Any of my people come to me talking about a hookup, I look at them like they're crazy because I already give you a hookup. I'm not charging you $700 to put no weave in your head. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, but it's the guilt that we put on each other.
Huh?
It's the guilt that we put on each other. Come on, I'm a black man struggling just like you, brother. Come on, give me a discount. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like I was saying to Kevin, you know, black people all the time never fails. Hey, when's your next show? It's on this day. Oh, can you get me free tickets? Like,
God damn, man.
I get paid because people come to the show because people pay. If I'm getting people free tickets, that's less money for me. And why can't you support me?
Hey, I'm gonna pay.
And that's how
I
you
believe in
supposed to
supporting my brothers
explain it
and
to them.
sisters.
You know, but why do we need to explain it? White people, hey, when's the next show? Is that we're gonna come see you. That's the end of the conversation.
You know, some people are slow. You have to explain it to them and break it down. You have to pay for yourself.
Yeah. So we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. So what have we learned about? Have we learned anything today? We always end on this. What have we learned? Black men should not date outside the race because the black family needs the most help. We do need, and I say this on the show all the time, black people need the most help. And I live this. I don't just talk this on the show. I do everything I can to help black people in my everyday. If I'm out, I was at a store the other day and it was a self-checkout and there were 2 lines. I didn't realize there were 2 lines. I probably wasn't paying attention, but one of the self-checkouts became vacant. So I started walking towards that. And this brother yelled at me, hey, I'm next. And I go, sorry, I didn't see you over there. I mean, there was like one set of self-checkout on one side, one set on the other side. And I went over to his side. I didn't realize. Anyway, he like what started saying, well, you need to mind, you need to pay attention, blah, I'm next. And he really started to get into it like he wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, I didn't say this, but I'm like, I'm not gonna fight with you, brother. Like, you don't even know me. You don't know
who you be running into?
I have, I don't know, something of this, and this has been my life. I don't know, something about me that people love to challenge, I guess. But anyway, this brother, I mean, I smoothed it out and like, listen, you want to go next? Go next. You know what I mean? But like I said, as I go through life, I try to make black people's lives as easy as possible. When I see
and you made his life easier by letting him go in front of you. You did a great deed.
Oh wow.
And which is what I don't understand. Like, if you I wasn't born in America. I've been here about 30 plus years, so I've seen enough. And I've seen enough to know that we know no matter when you're black, I don't care what position you have, what job you do, I know you're dealing with some shit. And I say this all the time to Kevin and Tiffany. I don't care if you're a CEO. I mean, look at Taraji P. She's a $1 million actress. You know what I mean? Everybody's being underpaid. So after seeing all of this, knowing what black people have to deal with just because we're black, I don't understand why we just can't get together and do something to help each other. Jesus Christ, we're still so divisive and so jealous and so want to bring each other down when we know the world is against us.
Right.
We know it. We see it every day. We see police shooting us just because you're black. You know, you see black people getting shot in the back and shot in the head. You know, there was a video, I think it was Chicago a couple years ago, where this brother was just walking down the street and they shot him like 30 something times. I don't know. Like, I mean, he was acting erratic, but he didn't have a weapon and they just shot him. I mean, we've seen
the police in
the
police in Tacoma. You talking about the incident in Tacoma, Washington?
I don't remember, probably, but they shot him.
Yeah, they just acquitted a bunch of police who were involved in the killing or the taking the life of a black man. And they did the same thing they did with George Floyd. They said it was because he had methamphetamine in his system. So they're saying that that's why he died, not the fact that they choked him out and did all sort of other crazy things to him. And they said he had problems and all this other stuff. But the most important thing we should understand here, when you say why can't black people do A, B, and C,
because
that the main paradigm is America.
The world is against us. No matter where you go, the world is against us.
And America is the paradigm of our problems. You see, it all goes back to the history, the lack of access to proper economics, no generational wealth.
It starts from a beginning.
It comes from the very beginning. And unfortunately, we have allowed our culture, which I don't think is really our real culture, we've allowed the gangsterism to be a part of our fasana, of our culture, when a lot of this stuff is not our culture.
Right.
And then we don't have enough griots anymore, meaning the oral tradition. We have put our elders to the backside.
Yeah.
Right? They're not around to kind of like guide us anymore.
Yeah.
Right? You also had a generation of black men that died in the Vietnam War. That was a big giant hunk of generation that was taken away from us, plus those that came back hooked on the drugs. We're also in a society which teaches, this is the paradigm that teaches us to be individuals and not to be collective, right? I bet any kind of money, Carl, where you were born in your culture in the Caribbean, would you agree or disagree with me that you grew up in a culture that was more about the collective and the community raising the child and being more in tune with your culture? America is a country that teaches you to be an individual, run a fight for the mighty dollar, the hell with everybody else. It's all about your rugged individualism. Do you think there's a different paradigm where you grew up to here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I remember, and I think this is throughout the Caribbean, where let's say my garden has tomatoes and Kevin's garden has lettuce, I will give Kevin, we won't charge each other, but I will give, hey, Kevin, you take some of my tomatoes, I take some of your lettuce. And that's how we, you know what I mean? That's how we kind of live like that, you know?
My grandmother did that in the South. They shared lettuce and collard greens and stuff. And that was in the 80s. I think that we just lost it. We lost a lot of our family.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one example. I mean, that I'm using, but the island is smaller. I think I was talking to mine the other day, and I was asking, It's just that islands are smaller, and you know what I mean. Everybody's so close together.
That's the key right there.
Yeah.
When black people were in segregation in this country, in our ancestors' history, black people had no choice but to work together. Now, it doesn't mean we didn't have black people that were backbiting on each other even then, but black people, for the most part, knew I can't go into this neighborhood. I can't shop at this store. I can't go over here and buy this house. I can't go over here and mess with that white woman. Or I'll be hung like fruit on trees.
Yes.
Right? So
fruit.
I can't go over to the white doctor. So black people were forced by default of the paradigm of America to create our own society and be self-sustaining on ourselves. So even though our schools might not have had the best books, black children were learning with love. The teachers were giving them love and lessons, which mean we had more educated, more healthier, educated mental minds of black people. The minute we start busing our kids to go to school with white folks, which didn't make any sense. Why would you go to school with a group of people who didn't like you, hated you, and think they're going to educate your kids? And then we wonder why black children in school today are being demonized and being produced for the prison pipeline, because we got them going to school with people who already didn't like them and still don't like them to this day.
But I tell you what, you know what I love about America, about Black America? In the Caribbean, we have given up. And when I say we've given up, we are 98% of the population. We only have 2% of the wealth.
Oh, that's terrible.
We don't own a lot.
Oh.
We don't protest anything. White people come there and they do whatever they want. They act anywhere they want. We don't
I
challenge
hate to hear that,
them.
Carl.
Oh, I'm being 100%. We don't challenge
I
them.
believe it.
It is true. I mean, it's my country where I come from, but it is true. I mean, we own very little, but we seem to be okay with it. You know,
comfortable.
Right now, yeah, we are comfortable with it.
Comfortable in your dysfunction.
Yes, absolutely.
And don't even know it.
Tiffany, you hit it right on the head, because I go back and I try to get them riled up. Man, why you let the white man come and build a hotel that tell you can't go on this beach? Like, beaches are, the government has it that beaches are for the public. You cannot build a hotel in Barbados and say we don't want the locals on this beach. You can't do it. The law is the beach. Nobody owns the beach. We should be able to walk from beach to beach as far as we can.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I know in Jamaica it's different now. In Jamaica, the government.
I heard you can't go on their beaches.
No, in Jamaica,
That's
the white
a damn
man
shame.
showed up and bought a hotel and says, I own this part of the beach. And the government said, okay, you own it. But that's not the case. But even if somebody showed up and did that in Barbados, there would not be any protests or anything. We're just okay. You know what I mean? All the businesses are owned.
I didn't know that, Carl. That's a damn shame.
I mean, like you go into the city, 98% of the businesses are owned by white and Indian. And Indians are only like 1% of the population. Indians are 1%.
So
and they own more than the 98% of the black people.
So are you
Because
telling
they
me,
don't even care for y'all either that much.
Are you telling us, Carl, that
that's Go ahead.
Or is it because black people in your country are not willing to work together? Are they divided in some way?
To be a piece of history on this, and I know this is a whole nother show, but Barbados was the island where the slaves were the most well-behaved throughout the Caribbean. I think in the world, I think they used to send slaves.
I just learned something tonight.
Slaves from America were sent to Barbados for us to teach them how to serve your master. Because so they would ship slaves from New Orleans and wherever to go to Barbados. Take your ass to Barbados, because the slaves down there, they know how to serve their master.
And you want to hear something? He's 100% right, because I just came from the Carolinas. In Charleston, and they said the same thing he just said. Barbados was connected to the slave trade, and they was the white slave masters was the ones that was teaching them or sending their ass to Barbados to be able to learn, because they know how they was well trained. He's not lying.
Yeah. So Jamaica had the most radical slaves. Jamaica,
those the Maroons.
whenever there was a slave revolution in the Caribbean, it started in Jamaica.
Maroons.
Jamaicans did not play, and to this day still don't play. That's why.
That's why I had the rosters up in the mountains.
You know,
because they wasn't coming in the mountains.
Then it would filter down to the Caribbean. Hey, the slaves are fighting in Jamaica for their freedom, and then but when it got to Barbados, the slaves in Barbados like, nah, we don't want none of that.
These are some calm niggas.
Well, none of that smoke, huh? See, that's what Carl's so nice.
Come on,
and
man.
that's why they always picking on him.
Yeah.
And the house nigga.
The Willie Lynch letter came from Barbados.
Oh wow.
Willie Lynch was he came from Barbados and he wrote the Willie Lynch letter, took it to America.
So wait a minute, Carl. Wait a minute. Hold up. Now I'm learning something tonight, because a lot of people have been questioning whether that was a fictional person and that wrote it. Right. You're saying that the Willie Lynch is someone who really lived,
yes,
who came from Barbados.
Yes.
And as you spoke tonight, Barbados is where they would send. They liked that area because the slaves there were obedient.
Yes.
And so that's where the idea of how you make a slave came out of what they were doing in Barbados?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow. Did y'all hear that tonight, ladies and gentlemen? This is why y'all should be following the Black Therapy Show every week and subscribing to the channel.
We had the nicest slaves. We had the nice slaves.
Mm-hmm. They knew how to. They knew their place.
Yeah.
Slave, you knew your place.
You know, we had one radical slave. His name was Cuffy, and we have a big statue of a slave. If you Google Cuffy right now, you'll see a picture of there's a big statue of Cuffy in Barbados. But he was the slave that rebelled. But of course, they killed him, and you know. But he did.
He got a statue.
Yeah, but he
got a statue.
Yeah. Are there any slave statues in America, like with chains on them and stuff? And
well, you know, the Statue of Liberty had chains on her ass, but they had to take that off.
There is no, if I'm not mistaken, there really are no statues that the country has sponsored where you had a black man or a black woman put up a slave rebellion, unless a black group of people have, you know, sponsored such a statue. Now, if you go to Europe,
they got
there is a black woman that was there was a French black woman who was actually pregnant. I put it in my community tab, but her name eludes me right now. I've been putting a lot of history in my community tab, y'all. Definitely check out the community tab. She was a pregnant black woman, and she is touted as being, she's one of the she rebelled against the French government or against the slavery, and they made a in the country, they recognized her and made a big statue of her because she was a young lady who was pregnant. She didn't make it. I think her baby, she gave birth to I think the baby made it alive once she gave birth, but eventually they took her life. It's in my community tab, but the name kind of eludes me right now. But this is you need to do a show on this. This is excellent content.
Yeah, I learned that when I had went to the Carolinas. I could not wait to come back and tell Carl what your country did to my people.
Yeah, we were the ones that
trained the
slaves how to be nice, and when they got radical, if they were bringing any slaves to the Caribbean and they were not well behaved, they would take them to Barbados, drop them off.
Yes, they will, and train them. Yeah, I heard it for myself.
Hey, on a lighter note, man, I'm reading right here that replacing Jonathan Majors for that movie he's supposed to do for Marvel is a guy that we all know and love.
Who's that?
Will Smith.
Hey, I heard that they, and I even seen, Kev, I'm glad you said that. This morning, I was looking at a memes. I think it was either Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And they talking about, and they had a picture of Denzel Washington all decked out in the outfit, talking about he could be a good replacement.
And he wouldn't take it anyway.
That's probably Photoshop. I'm sure that's Photoshop.
He wouldn't take.
No, but it was like it was an animated picture.
Right. Yeah.
But I thought to myself, if there was someone that would replace him, Denzel could probably be an excellent. Because it would definitely put asses in the seats.
But Denzel would never
they want to pay that Denzel money.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, Denzel getting banked. Will Smith getting banked too. I apologize. I just dropped my device again. Will Smith getting banked too. So
because of Will Smith, he's still on black people punishment.
But he's still making money. So if you can afford Will Smith, you probably can afford Denzel.
Right. Oh, did you talking about memes, Kev? Once again, this was on Facebook. You know the young brother that played in that TV show Snowfalls?
That's the one that was messing around with Lori Harvey.
Yeah, he was messing around with Lori. Yeah.
He's from Europe.
They had him in a Black Panther outfit, saying that he could probably be the replacement for Chad, that he could be a good choice.
Right,
if they were to choose him. And he did look cool in the outfit, I got to be honest.
Right.
They're getting them European actors. They're getting those European actors.
He's another English
cheaper.
actor. I know.
It's cheaper for the European actors when we got good actors right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I personally...
That's funny you say that, Tiff, because the lady who portrayed Whitney Houston in the movie I watched today is from London.
Yeah.
She's not American.
So what happened to all the Black American actors?
She played the hell out of Whitney Houston. I don't give a shit where she's from.
Didn't the guy from London play Martin Luther King also?
Yeah, he played in that, and I didn't watch that either.
He did a good job, though. Let's be honest. He did do a good job. He did do a good job, but I do notice that there seems to be this preference in Hollywood of the British Black actors, right? And that the American actors, I noticed something here, especially when it's a movie about one of our sheroes and heroes,
and we already have 10
they
movies
tend
now.
to cast someone from somewhere else, and we got some good American Black actors here that probably want to play those roles, and they're now being replaced.
Right.
And I want to see everybody get the bag and do good, but something is happening to the Black American actor that's being snubbed here.
But it's the reason I can answer that question. It's the same reason why, because when you're Black, when you're from another country, you don't really know the history of America.
That's right.
You don't know, and they know that. So they're not going to get a lot of pushback. They're not going to get a lot of attitude, which they deserve. So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like when, like I told these guys, when I've met white people that had an attitude with me until they find out I was from Barbados, then the whole attitude changed.
Wow.
They're smiling more. They're a lot friendlier.
They like his Black. He's a calm Black.
Right.
And I admit it. Their whole attitude changes towards me as soon as they find out I'm Black, but not Black American. Attitude change.
Right. Like Carl, I'll give you this other example. And he's a good actor. I got to be honest. He's a young brother. He's a good actor. But they're getting ready to come out. I think in this upcoming new year, they're going to come out with a biopic about Bob Marley. And it's being played by a British-speaking Black actor, light-skinned brother. You've seen him in a couple of movies. I can't think of his name. He's actually a good actor. I can't take that from him. But I wonder how people in the Caribbean is going to feel about this British actor playing him and not someone from Jamaica in this
But his father is white. His Bob Marley's father is white.
I get it, but I'm wondering
probably get a little
if the
pass.
how the people are going to feel that they didn't pick someone from the culture.
From the culture.
You
But
get
most
what
of the
I'm
time
saying?
they don't.
It's called acting.
Yeah, that's right. It is called acting.
Anyway, we don't really pay attention to that. We're not really going to be fussing about that. I can tell you that. And the reason, listen, we have no idea how bad things are for Black people in America. And I can say that wholeheartedly. I know a lot of Americans think that we should know, and we do know. I am telling you, if you're American and you're watching this show, we do not know. We come to this country thinking Black people have it made. Ooh, look at all, we don't know. We really don't know.
Yeah.
Until you start living in the society, and then you start, you start to be ignored.
Figuring it out.
You know what I mean? People are ignoring you, and if your hair is not straight, you can't get a job. I can't go to I can't go to an interview with natural hair, my natural hair, and get a job. I gotta straighten it, and I can't go to this neighborhood. That was, what do you mean that's a white neighborhood? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah. And they wanted y'all like that. The Europeans, the queen and them, they wanted y'all ignorant like that. They never taught y'all. Every place I heard from Europe, they said they never taught no black history.
No, they never.
It stops at abolishment.
Listen, they made it seem like the white people, like they made it from watching TV. I thought Black Americans had it made. It looked so wonderful. They never. Thank God now for CNN and MSNBC and all that. Now they can't hide anything anymore, right? Now everything.
That's right. You got social media.
No, I want to make this announcement to people in the chat room. It isn't about being against people, brothers and sisters in the diaspora. I just brought up the question as to, I'm seeing a pattern here, and someone made really good sense in saying that, yeah, they can pay the brothers and sisters from other countries less money, right? Which actually undergirts Black American actors who are asking for more money, like Sister
Taraji P. Henson,
right?
And others.
It undercuts, right? We're just noticing a pattern where the Black American actors are sort of being replaced by this British explosion.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And I'm not, and you never heard me say that they can't act. Oh, they can act. They can act. But we're just noticing a pattern here, because I don't see. Check this out. I don't see the movie industry in Great Britain coming over here to America and extracting Black American actors and putting them in their movies.
Okay. Samuel L. Jackson
at high numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Because they got a movie industry over there. They make movies and produce it. Because if you got a Netflix account, they got all type of movies on Netflix that are being produced in the UK. And I don't see them importing a lot of Black American prominent actors into the UK situation. Hell, they don't even want, this is crazy, Eber Elbert. They don't even want him to play
James Bond.
Elba, yes.
Yeah, I know that's your man. But they don't even want, so think about it. We're extracting Black British actors into Hollywood movies here. Here you got their own homegrown guy who they don't even want to give him an opportunity to play James Bond.
That's where racism started.
But they don't. Also, it's a money thing too. I think American actors, I don't think their budget over there is what the budget is over here. Information.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Educate.
I mean, yeah, they're not. No British movie can afford Denzel Washington or to come over there and do a movie probably. Denzel's getting $20 million a movie. I don't think they can afford that. Will
they gonna
Smith,
give him 20 pounds, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So I think it's more of a money thing. Okay. It's the same thing. It's the same thing like NBA players go over to Europe and play
and make money.
They make money, but they're not making the money. They're making the NBA.
That's true.
These guys, they go over there when their career's down. When at the end of their career, they might go over there and play, or when some guys get booted out the NBA for certain reasons, like Woodscar can't get a job in the NBA right now, Dwight Howard, but I think that's about his sexuality, because it came out that he's gay, and I think he's being black.
He didn't come out he was gay. Somebody outed him.
Well, he got outed then. He got outed that he was gay. And I think
that's he's not in the NBA, just like Kev is saying. He ain't in the NBA.
He ain't in the NBA for that reason. So he's playing over in Europe. He's playing overseas right now to keep that money. He don't have to because he's filthy rich anyway, but these guys still like to make money. So he's playing overseas. But he wants to get back in the NBA, but no team is reaching out to him.
Right.
Yeah, so
guys don't want him in the locker room with him,
So Ellen V is kind of reiterating what I said about being welcoming once they find out you're not. She said, Carl, I was faced something similar to that, but in Cuba. I was telling them I'm from Miami, and they were giving me crazy looks. When I said it was from Haiti, they were welcoming. So, when they find out you're not Black American, then it's It's totally different. I was telling Kevin and I said, and Kevin has probably seen it when in Barbados when the white people come to visit. They're so. I swear to God, I thought white people. I said when I come to America, this is going to be so great because the white people that come to Barbados are so nice and always smiling. I mean, imagine walking down the street and have white people coming towards you with a smile on their face. Have you ever seen?
They was comfortable with you, Carl.
You know, so you know, they would invite
Carl,
you if you're ever
Carl,
in
they would
America.
love to take you home, brother, and make you Benson. Remember Benson?
Remember.
Put that butler outfit on you. They would love you, Carl. With your and then give them that, and then with your accent and everything like that, they would love it, Carl.
They were like, man, if you're ever in America, make sure you come by and visit. They would invite you if you're ever in America, come visit us. You know what I mean? You know, they painted this picture of like it was a whole kumbaya thing going on here in America, but you know, clearly it wasn't. When I got here, I figured that out real quick. That but that's getting back to why they're bringing in British actors and all that stuff, because they know Black Americans have all the knowledge. Black Americans have all the history of how Black people are treated in this country, so they want to find some new Black people who don't have all that knowledge.
Yeah, and they can pay them less.
Exactly. Simple. Very simple.
They can pay them less.
Well, Carl, this has been a great show, brother. I'm going to be dropping off.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here also. So I want to say thank Information Man. We can't thank you enough for sharing your audience and sharing your subscribers with us. We hope you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be taking a break for the next 2 weeks.
You said 2 weeks?
Is it? Well, we're coming back in the new year. I just want to take a break. We've been going strong. We have not taken a break all year. We haven't.
Oh, okay.
Have we?
We wasn't on for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks at one time. But
well, guys, we can fight about this in private, not publicly. We have our little meetings with
Mr. Information Man, can we go on next week?
Let me ask you guys a question. Because I know the new year is coming up, so I definitely want to book you all on my channel, so we can do further promotions for what you're going to be doing in the upcoming year. Do me a favor too, Carl. If you've got any type of promotional video material of your program, let me get that, because I can run that on my channel. I can run any kind of promotional, anything you want me to do.
Yeah.
Because my goal is I want to get more people over here watching you all when you're doing your thing. And because today, and all the other shows that you guys have done, you guys do really incredible, ladies and gentlemen, incredible content, which is why you all who are in my chat room right now should be getting your butt over to the Therapy Show and subscribing and what have you, and hitting that bell notification. They go live every Sunday at 7, so you should be doing that.
Thank you.
So just let me know, man, so that I can put out any promotional. And then what I'll do when I go live, and I know I go live on Sunday before you guys, I'll start shouting. I'll start before I end my shows. I'll start letting people know, hey, you guys are getting ready to go live. Go on over there and check them out. This is what the topic is. So I'll start trying to generate that type of informative information to people.
Hey, the first person that subscribed gets a free date with Tiffany, by the way.
Are you selling me off?
Well, Tiffany, you out there? Where you? Are you in the New York area?
I'm in Brooklyn.
Uh-oh. I'm going to have to get on a plane and get out there. The friendly skies. But anyway, I'm going to drop off everybody. I appreciate it.
Because I know we about to get off. We need to definitely, hold on. Want to make sure. We need to definitely start really getting into Black economic justice.
Yes.
It's not only Taraji P. Henson that's going through it. It's all around the map. Anywhere. We have people that work in McDonald's. We got people that work regular job, post office, the teachers. We need more pay. Everything else is going up around us, but our pay is not going up. So that means we have to work harder. And by working harder, that means we shutting our bodies down. We need more medical assistance. So we need to definitely more economic power, economic justice for ourselves. So definitely, people, please, definitely, we need to promote more economic power and justice for all of us, because we all need assistance.
All right.
Peace and love.
That's all you have to say, Kev? Peace and love?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Not letting us come
Hey,
off for New
I need some
Year.
time to think about some things. I'll see y'all next year.
Don't worry, Kev. We about to go on. The call is getting rid of us for the 2 weeks. I think it's a week call.
2 weeks? Okay. All right. Like Kevin said, we're gonna discuss. We may. Okay.
We'll talk about it off air in a couple of days or so after Christmas. We'll talk. Let's talk on the 26th. We'll figure it out, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Let's.
Yeah, we can't have public fights in the middle of the show.
Oh yeah, I'm about to take off my earrings. Thank you all. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Love you, bro. Hey, y'all have a good. Enjoy your holiday, bro. Enjoy your holiday, man. And peace and love, everybody. And y'all be safe. And hey, Tiffany, don't let me see no fat white man coming on your chimney.
They won't be coming in my chimney, boo.
All right, and thanks again to everyone who came over from the Information Man Show. We hope you guys stick around with us. Highly favored. Thank you so much, Mike B.
My
Thank you
sister.
so much,
Yes.
Ellen V. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone. I'm not gonna get everyone. Party Music DJ Aki. Wow, that's a weird name. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks to every single one that came over on the show tonight. We love you, and we do not take this lightly that you spent the last couple of hours with us. We truly appreciate it. And all we're trying to do here is to uplift Black people and get Black people on the right track. That's all we're trying to do. We're not gossiping. We're not putting anybody down. You know, it's a hard road to travel, but we are willing to travel that road. Love you. We love you. We love you. Kevin, Tiffany, you know, I love you guys always. That's never going to change.
Thank you, bro.
Yes.
We appreciate the love. Love you back, man. Peace and love. I'll talk to y'all soon. We'll figure this out. We're talking a couple after Christmas. We'll holler at each other, okay?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Peace. Enjoy the show, guys. Thank you. Well, we didn't play our theme song today either.